Hello, all. Sorry we're a bit late starting, but various issues behind the scenes. Still ongoing, but we're going to press ahead and try to play anyway. Today, we are playing Abney Park's Airship Pirates, which was released, according to Drive-Thru RPG, at least in 2011, and has been sat on my shelves, languishing ever since. I think I picked this up at one of the last conventions I went to, probably a Dragon Meet. So that dates it a bit. Brief little backstory. I reviewed this on my blog back in the day and gave it an above average score, but criticized some of the artwork choices and things. And apparently that annoyed the band. Oh yeah, Abney Park is a band. They do like a steampunk air pirate thing. And apparently they hired their friends to do the artwork for the game. And just like when you're designing a website, hire a professional, not your friends, not your cousin. So I was maybe a bit critical about some of that, which seemed to set them off. And they came at me for quite a while. And it's taken me 12, 13 years to get over it. So that's why we're playing it now. It uses the same system as first and second edition Victoriana. I should have liked Victoriana, but my dislike of Shadowrun is well known, and Victoriana is basically steampunk Shadowrun. So we never really got on, even though I wrote some stuff for it in Forkless Miscellaneous. Can't pronounce it. A miscellaneous book of gubbins and some other bits and pieces I did about secret organizations in it. I also wrote a whole supplement on War of the Worlds for Victoriana, which never saw the light of day for no real explicable reason because it's public domain. But hey, ho, there you go. It's a dice pool system. You grab a number of six-sided dice equal to your stat plus skill. That may then be modified by difficulty modifiers, so you can have more dice or less dice. You roll them. Ones and sixes count as successes. Every six you get another dice. Roll it and add on, so you can get runaway, really good successes. Sometimes you will be opposed by the forces at work in the world. Sometimes for higher difficulty, you're supposed to roll separate black dice, but I, as the games master, are going to take the role of that, and I will roll the bad dice that then take away from your successes. Other than that, it's pretty easy to follow, as hopefully we'll see. Right, let's bring in the players for today. Minus one who's going to be here late. Hello all.
Hello.
Howdy.
You've had a chance to look over your characters. I'll just give a brief, quick sort of overview of the game world. Then you can introduce your characters. And then we'll play. I'll also address a couple of comments before we start properly. Okay, so the world progresses pretty much as ours has up until 17th century, 18th century. But much later on than that, time travel is invented, and then people start traveling back in time and dicking with stuff. This results briefly in a sort of utopia that is then usurped by a dictatorial emperor who takes over the entire world, rolls back all the technology to kind of 19th century levels for the most part, rewilds much of the earth, and people who survive are either bottled up in neo-Victorian cities behind thick walls and soldiers and stuff like that, or live in free aerial cities, many of which are homes to air pirates, such as yourselves, or travel the wastelands, which is full of genetically re-engineered megafauna and stuff trying to survive. So you've got neo-Bedouin tribes that move around on the earth, You've got neo-Victorians who live in the big cities, and you have the airship folk who live in the free cities. Abney Park, despite the name, to a garden cemetery in London. They're American, so most of the setting is American, but I'm setting the game in England because I'm British, damn it, and I see no reason to go along with their colonial fancy. So you are members of an airship pirate crew. Your cover is that it's a like traveling freak show / circus. So you're all performers as well as air pirates. Gives you a good excuse to go certain places, do certain things. Would you care to introduce your characters?
Who would you start?
Let's start at the top and work our way across and down. So can you about Bilge, please, Mike?
All right. Bilge is one of the misbegotten. I'm not sure what they look like. They are mutants. I have claws, amnesia, so don't remember much before this, and I stink horribly.
Like eye-wateringly bad.
You get used to the smell after a while.
That's why I keep the gas mask on.
Yeah, the misbegotten are humans, but they're mutants. So the big neo-Victorian cities, they're horribly polluted, and also time travel. So technological magic, I don't know, mutants anyway. Given your mutations, you probably have dark, leathery, cracked skin, big sharp claws, and you stink. Yeah. All right, Ironcaster, do you want to tell us about Drizzle?
Yes. Jonathan Drizzle's the name. General ne'er-do-well and gentleman pirate. Bit of a face. Knows his way around a medical kit or two if need be. Not a big fan of spiders.
Now we know what's going to be in the game.
This is by no means an important thing to be on the character sheet at all.
No, why would I put it there otherwise? And we have Astero, the cabin boy.
Hopefully my internet will hold up while I describe my character. Keeps cutting out. I'm a neo-Victorian working class kid, I guess. I have a knife and a slingshot, and I'm a kid, clearly. That's...
Yeah, for your cover, you're a not particularly good tightrope walker.
Yeah.
It's always more entertaining when they fall, isn't it?
Yeah, it does say shtick traveling freak show, so I guess the tightrope walking comes into that. I'm gonna drop out of the stream and rejoin on my phone because my internet keeps cutting out. So,
okie doke. See you back in a sec. And our last player who's joining us late will be playing Flock 99, who is an automaton, because those are a thing. So basically a steam-powered dock worker, essentially, that has somehow developed independent, proper, free consciousness, which isn't something that's supposed to happen very often, and has signed up with the freak show so that he can live free, at least ish. Right, Mercurius was asking, you ever going to do Castle Falkenstein? I do not own a copy of Castle Falkenstein, so that seems rather unlikely. Also, my issue with a lot of steampunk games, and Airship Pirates is no exception, is that none of them have done straight steampunk. They all have to dick with it in some way. So Victoriana has all the standard fantasy tropes brought into it. This has time travel and other such nonsense in it, and real world rewilded Earth and all of that. Nobody has done a straightforward one, and Castle Falkenstein has fairies and stuff in it. I want to play Difference Engine. that's what I want to play, but nobody is willing to service my needs. That's life.
Well, I think that's sort of a problem of steampunk as kind of as a whole, as a genre, is that it in a way doesn't have quite enough substance to itself, that it isn't so clearly defined by its own self that it winds up inevitably falling into other tropes, other genres.
Hopefully Simon will be back in a minute. I like Iron Kingdoms, but I wouldn't exactly say that's steampunk. I'd say that's a kind of Magitech setting. So it makes me think more of like Final Fantasy VI.
How would you define steampunk then? Because I only know it from people at conventions.
So most punk things, genres, it's like alternative history or near future, speculating upon a development in some way. Some critical junctures different, or the technology has advanced faster or slower or differently. So for me, steampunk is it's the height of the Victorian engineering age, but you imagine that on a larger scale and having gone further, like the difference engine or the analytical engine having been adopted and used more broadly and having bigger implications and so on. So that's what it means to me. Same as diesel punk is you just take like 1930s technology and you push it further. Something like Crimson Skies is diesel punk. Or in sort of bamboo punk, even, the Japanese were able to do amazing things with bamboo and horsehair, and you just take that further. Forgotten Futures is good, but I still wouldn't call it steampunk exactly, because what he does is he takes historical fiction and makes games around it, which is great, but it's a subtly different thing. Are things working better on your phone then, Simon?
I guess not.
That's my answer. Sorry for the delay, everyone. It just seems tonight is a troublesome time.
It was bound to happen eventually.
Yeah. I haven't checked out The Well. I don't know anything about it. Feel free to inform me. Yes, that was in Perdido Street Station. And the hacking in that. I'm so gutted we never got a game of the Baslag books, but that's all Gareth Michael Skarka's fault. But now that Far West has come out, maybe it'll only be another decade before he gets that out. Unless the rights reverted, which I hope they did. Simon, I can see your forehead.
Yeah. I'm on my tablet this time.
Okay. You're a bit quiet, but is that working okay?
I don't know. Can you hear me all right?
You're a bit quiet.
Settings.
Don't know if I can turn you up at all.
It says I'm on speakerphone, so that's as loud as I'm going to get. Oh, there's
Okay,
an automatically adjust mic volume. Let's turn that off and turn it right up. Does that help?
Okay. Seems to have made almost no difference, but very slight.
Right.
We'll manage. Just try to be quiet if Simon's talking. All right. So, your pirating has not been going particularly well of late. You've been picking fights with the wrong airships or sweeping down on cargo convoys and then finding them much too well defended to really take on. So you've taken quite a bit of damage, which you've patched here and there. You're extremely low on fuel, and you just managed to limp barely into range of one of the aerial cities called Caroline, which floats offshore from the former British lands, just far enough away from the near Victorian cities to avoid too much attention. So in theory, it's a safe port for you. So your airship, the Geek, needs a great deal of TLC. But your bunkers are empty, your coffers are empty. This is going to present a challenge for you. So it is evening as you approach Caroline at half power. Spotlights are searching out from the floating city out into the darkness. From a distance, it looks tiny. A pair of discs, one attached to the other, hanging below an enormous profusion of balloons with great big anchor chains descending down to an island below. There's scattered lights behind the spotlights, though the spotlights are starting to swing and focus in on you as you approach at half speed to preserve the fuel. There's a couple of other airships, but much smaller than yours, sort of patrolling around the city to protect it. Far off on the right, against the darkening sky, it's foreboding, black, dark. There's no comforting city lights. There's just you and your onboard lanterns and the Caroline up ahead.
What time of day was this?
Evening. So just after sunset. So the sky is still slightly light where the sun has just set.
So I suppose we should probably find a place to finally set in and try and disembark to try to find some work.
Yep. So out of you, who can pilot?
I got a 1.
Look, piloting is not exactly my thing. I'm kind of more like I stand to the side and the people do that stuff.
Yeah,
I'm too busy looking good.
I mean, you do have random NPC crew as well, because it takes more people to man an airship. You can just leave one of the crew to do it, but it's probably better off if one of you does it.
All right. You want Bilge to give it a shot? I've got a 1.
What's your dexterity?
It is 2, so that would be 3 dice.
Yeah. So Astero, the cabin boy, who's hardly been on board ship for long and is still learning, actually has a better chance than you. But you offered first. So, all right, let's see. Docking is a pretty routine sort of thing to do.
Is it?
But it is nighttime, which bumps it up in the difficulty, but you're going slow, so that makes it easier. All right, so roll your 3 dice. 1s and 6s count as successes.
And I have none of those.
No successes.
I have complete faith in you.
Okay. So you bring the Geek around, heading towards the smaller of the 2 circular platforms that makes up the aerial city of Caroline. As you come in, the floodlights and spotlights light up and shine on you, in theory to help you dock. But what actually happens is it kind of, in your gas mask, the lenses aren't treated with anything to be anti-glare, so you basically can't see during your final approach. You overshoot a little bit. And where you were supposed to kind of come to a gentle dock against the side of the platform, and the tenders could grab the ropes and, latch you off and so on. Instead, you overshoot and end up dragging a few of the dock personnel off their feet and pulling them, across the platform until you're wrestled back into place by some steam automata grabbing the lines as well. And the geek, somewhat scraped and battered, is finally settled into its proper place.
This was the learning experience. Let's try to not do that again. All right.
My bad. Takes off the gas mask.
Ah!
Well, it's either the smell or the sound.
Yeah, there is a horrible chemical smell rising off Bilge now he's taken his mask off. And the inside of the mask is coated in some kind of noxious sweat-like substance, which drips from the interior of the mouthpiece down onto the deck, leaving a greenish stain.
Well, that's disgusting. Put that back on.
No, not right now. Not feeling it.
Then
look, if you're gonna, you could pilot the ship.
no. Look, this is a learning experience. You learn. You're trying to learn here.
Fine. I put the gas mask back on.
Okay. The smell gradually, very gradually, subsides.
Right then, we should probably go ahead and disembark.
Okay, the crew throw down the ramp, which lands with a clang and clatter, and you descend. Despite the tie-off ropes and everything, being an airship, you're still bobbing around a bit, but you're used to it. You rattle down the boarding plank without any problem onto the deck. There is an officious and official-looking man in a sky blue uniform, flanked by a couple of guards with pistols and swords at their belts. He has a clipboard with a whole bunch of documents attached to it. Who's in charge of this vessel?
I am.
No, I'm gonna step up, kind of push you something. I look. I think it's really more so my department. Like, trust me. Like, look, you handle navigating, you handle flying, Bilge.
Fine.
I'll be the face here.
Fine.
This is what happens when nobody plays the captain.
Is this some kind of communist?
He mentioned communism, and the crew grabbed him and threw him off the side of the ship.
He got the Stalin treatment.
Hopefully, he'll be back.
Yeah. Look, the captain's currently sick in inner quarters. Someone has to step up and take that and take the role of first mate.
Backup captain, reserve captain.
Isn't that usually the quartermaster?
I don't hear the quartermaster complaining.
Doesn't want the responsibility.
Right then. Yes. I step up to go.
What were you saying, Simon, before you got dumped?
Sorry, my internet's cut out again, so I missed most of that.
Okay. You've docked badly, did some damage. There's an official-looking guy with a couple of guards here asking to speak to whoever's in charge. Drizzle has volunteered.
And then there was a question of who was in charge, and I said, while it cut out, is this some kind of communist ship where everybody's the captain?
You do have a captain, but no one decided to play them. So they're either indisposed, on holiday, something.
We let someone else be cook last night, and that didn't turn out too well.
draw lots for whoever's good. Well, I need to speak to whoever is in charge, however temporarily.
Not it.
Well, I suppose that would be me then.
Your name is?
Yes, the name is Jonathan Drizzle. I'm temporarily in charge of the geek here. We are a traveling circus.
Circus. You don't look particularly entertaining.
I'm gonna take my mask off.
It's more so to gawk.
We're a freak show.
So I see. Put it back on.
I return the mask to its rightful location.
Okay, so acting captain Jonathan Drizzle, ship the Geek, traveling freak show. Right, well, standard docking fees apply, but you have done some damage and you've endangered the dockers. What is the purpose of your visit?
Well, we're a bit low on funds at the moment. We're trying to go scrounge up some work. Things that haven't quite turned out too well as of late.
I see. Well, the docking fee will be due tomorrow by midday, so make sure you've found some work and some money by then. Is that clear? I'll give you temporary leave to stay. Under order. Harbour Master Prospero. Tears off the sheet of paper from his clipboard and hands it over to you. I trust you can read.
Of course. This is the modern day, after all. I mean, who can't read these days?
Well, conduct yourself in a suitable manner, please. We try to run a respectable city here, and we do try to keep relations with the Victorians on a good basis. So,
well, of course. I mean, we wouldn't want to have to go causing any trouble now, would we? I mean, this is a more civilized time. We don't need to go off and be violent. There's no need for any of that here.
Quite. Keep your nose clean. He whirls around precisely and struts off, full of self-importance. And the two guards linger a moment and then follow on after him.
Well, I'd say that turned out very well.
All right, now we just got to find some work.
Right. That, or we have to get out of here before the bill comes due.
We could. Or I could just start shaking down people in the street. In the alleys. I know, do it in the alleys.
It is a bit of a start. Perhaps we should try to go to one of the local drinking establishments. I'm sure we can really find some work there, boy.
All right. Tavern it is.
I'm sorry, my internet cut out again.
It's fine.
I'm not sure I'm going to manage to stay in the stream because I'm not able to follow what's going on well enough. And
yeah, it sucks. All right. Well, if it cuts out again and you've had enough of it, that's fine. We'll manage.
Okay.
Maybe I'll NPC Astero or something.
Yeah. No, I was going to ask before it cut out while the important-looking guy is distracted by talking to Jonathan. Could I attempt to pick his pockets?
You can attempt to pick his pockets. So that'll be Dex plus your pickpockets, which is 4, which is remarkably good. And it's an opposed roll, so I roll for him.
Do I get any bonus for the distraction?
Yes, I'll penalize his roll.
6s get re-rolled, right?
Yeah.
I've got 4 successes.
4 successes. Okay. All right. For a moment, you think he's going to spot you, but he doesn't. He gets distracted at just the right moment by being told the name of the ship and having to think for a moment whether he heard you properly. You find what are you after? You after his purse or anything else he might have in his pockets? Or...
The docking fees.
So you're after his money.
Or
okay.
beer or women, I mean, whatever money pays for here.
He has a grand total of 5 what they called helios. I've lost Simon again. Okay, he had a total of 5 helios, which is the currency, in his pocket, clearly docking fees from the other ships, which it's a lot of money. That's like pounds in Victorian money. So yeah, Astero manages to nick his purse and trouser it without it jangling too much.
What was the docking fee again?
It doesn't actually say, but presumably quite a bit.
Back again. What did I find?
Yeah.
Sorry.
5 helios. I added it to your character sheet. So he had quite a lot of money on him from docking fees from other airships.
Okay. Will that pay for our docking fee?
One of those should pay for your docking fee.
Okay. Well, I guess before he leaves, I'll hand him it and ask if that covers the docking fee.
Okay, well, so as he's walking away, you rush up and say, excuse me, sir. Will this cover it? He looks surprised. Well, why didn't you mention it earlier?
Well, I mean, it's not really my job, sir. It's just they're not very competent here, and I thought, I've done a bit of work while we've been away, and I've made a bit of money, and I thought if I show myself as being good and useful, then maybe I can be captain one day.
Suitable ambition, young lad. What's your name?
My name's Astero, sir.
Astero. He lifts your hat, ruffles your hair in an affectionate way, and takes your money. Well, if you decide you don't want to travel around with a bunch of incompetent freaks, drop by the harbour master's office. Might be able to get you a job as a runner. Good lad.
Oh, brilliant! Thank you, sir.
All right, and he struts off with his
Grim,
guns.
I think our android's up, done charging.
Jolly!
All right. Let's off the responsibility to someone else to catch Tisha up on what's been happening.
So far,
go on.
Okay, so we're a bit low. We're low on resources. We've managed to dock in the town, the city of Caroline, and are trying to lay low. We are low on funds, and in need of some work now. We've managed to successfully land the ship, though it wasn't the best of landings. They say any landing you can walk away from is a successful landing anyway. And so we have about a day to get the money together to afford our docking fees.
So did we shoot up a ship full of orphans and children? Orphans and widows? Like this, it's in the song, damn it.
I didn't listen to it.
Astro pickpocketed the harbour master and paid him the docking fee with his own money, but you still need money for supplies, fuel, food, water, repairs to the ship, all of that kind of jazz. So you're still going to need to find work.
We got 4 coins left out of the 5 I stole from him, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
The system is the one used in the first couple of editions of Victoriana. T-shirt. Repeating my stream is one thing, but taking money.
I know. But I do still pay you $12 a month. I'm still I'm still on one of your account thingies. I'm just not on your Patreon.
Yeah. All right. So I believe the plan was to look for a suitable watering hole where you might be able to pick up on some goss or something. Right. So avoiding the bridgeway across to the inner circle of the aerial city, because that leads to the more salubrious districts. Instead, you take the steps down to the not exactly slums, but less salubrious areas that cling to the docking ring to serve the rough sailor types that come here. There's a circular road that goes around the underside of that platform called Savile Row, and all around it there's housing made of shipping containers and recovered junk from the ground below. So it's rather cramped and low-ceilinged, but I don't think any of you are particularly tall, except maybe Flock. So you should be all right. Flock probably needs to either tilt his head to one side or to hunch over a bit.
I say, they just don't make things robot-sized anymore.
Not for robot dockers, no. But down here, there's all manner of shady places to stay, little trading shops, street performers, beggars, prostitutes, all manner of illicit delights await, and plenty of drinking establishments. You've probably been here before, and you know one of the best places to pick up work is a little tavern called the Roscoe.
The Roscoe it is. I've been there many a time. I can lead the way. I know this. I know it like I'm like the back of my hand.
Oh, do you?
Wait,
Who's buying the drinks?
don't worry about that. That sounds like a later problem. Like we have a now problem of
that's future me problem.
I'll just start flipping one of the coins that I've got in the air.
Big shiny one whole helio coin.
I've got 25 cents. 0.25 helios.
Yeah.
How much will that get me?
They'll probably get you a drink.
I'll buy a round.
All right. So you make your way to the Roscoe. Its name is picked out in recovered neon signs, mismatched letters over the door. A couple of boys stood outside next to a bicycle, and they're pedaling it feverishly to power the light, taking it in turns. Thick tobacco smoke wafts out from inside.
Is that enough to cover my chemical smell?
At a distance, yes.
All right, so I can take my mask off to drink.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop and look to the two with the bicycle for a moment and consider something more. Looks like you tire out pretty fast, but kid.
Yeah, but we get a bit of food and a bit of small beer from the establishment. Pays for itself.
Is there any coin in it?
People tip from time to time.
I'm going to then turn an eye up Flock for a moment.
Yes.
Well, Flock, you don't exactly need to eat now, do you?
Well, now that you mention it, no, I mostly come here for the company.
Well, I think we could ingratiate ourselves to these kind young chaps who I'm sure would be more than grateful for someone to take over a shift for them. Maybe perhaps for half their pay.
Is this your very human way of asking me to go and do a job for humans? Like I'm built to do jobs that you don't like to do? Like
the other
bicycles?
the other kid who's not currently pedaling gets up on his feet with his fists up and says, "No, you fucking don't. We ain't having no robot taking over our job. I'll fucking biff you."
No.
There you go.
Only for an hour.
No, it's my job, our job. We're going to do it right.
If you stop pedaling, will it go black in there?
No, just the sign.
I can paint you a new sign.
Not the inside.
It just lights the sign. That's all.
Oh, that's rubbish.
The boss says it's the most important thing because it welcomes people to the inn.
Well, he is right.
No, kids. Just think about it for a moment. You can relax for a minute, and then you're getting paid. You'll still be getting paid for not much at all.
He doesn't seem convinced.
Dropping dice.
Do you want to do it?
Jonathan,
Your big steam.
I'm going to tap Jonathan on the shoulder, reaching up to him because I'm a 12-year-old boy. Malnourished because I'm a Victorian 12-year-old boy. And just
please, sir.
Coins and we don't need pennies from that job.
Oh, it was a thought. I thought the boys would be nice for a nice bit of a break, and they could still collect tips.
They could, but we could just go in there and get some dinner and some prostitutes.
Yes, but what could that do to Flock? No, he needs to work. He's nice and charged up. He needs to do something.
Yeah, like take your jobs away.
Thought you didn't want to do human jobs.
Only when it's funny.
Look, what would happen if we gave you a beer?
I would stare at it and look at you like lobsters were crawling out of your ears because obviously I can't drink it.
Well, not with that attitude, you can't.
There's got to be somewhere that you put fuel or oil or something in. What if we put beer in it? Could we try?
No.
Surely it is an ethanol. Maybe we could power you by it.
Bender.
Gosh, well, I drink alcohol so I can bend girders. No.
Oh, then again, yes, of course. You always had to have a particular blend. It's standard run-of-the-mill oil is never good enough for you. No, we have to be special, don't we?
Well, it's kind of like you humans, Earthworms are just not good enough for you, even though it's protein. You have to have, like, special things, like, caviar.
Speak for yourself.
The lad by the bike is like, look, in or out? You're blocking the entrance. Slowing up business.
I'm going in and getting a beer.
In we go.
In we go.
All right. So Astro was first in, and he's best able to maneuver through the crowd. There's a lot of people in here, crammed in. Sailors, locals. It's a colourful crowd. A pair of steam-powered women's legs in high heels trots by with a tray set on top where the waist should be, but instead there's just the tray with a few mugs of ale and so on, empty now.
I say, nice pair of gams on that one.
A whistling noise and a little puff of steam comes out of her. You're not exactly sure where, but some. And she carries on up to the bar. There's music playing. Someone's playing the is it squeeze box, the little small accordion thing?
Yeah, it's a squeeze box.
Yeah, it makes a really annoying sound. But there's plenty of people here.
Yeah.
The barkeep lifts his mechanical arm, rests it on the counter, and looks over at Astro. Will it be, lad?
Well, before we get to that, on the way to the bar, did I spot anyone not noticing their wallet?
It's mostly criminal types in here, so they're all fairly fond of their money and careful about it. It would be a challenging task to pick the pocket of anyone here.
Okay. Wallet inspector.
Yeah. The easiest thing to steal from would be the pair of robotic legs, because people leave tips and money on the tray.
Oh yeah, no, I'd just be robbing pockets.
Yeah, yeah. Look, don't you even fucking think it, my lad.
Okay.
Just
when I get to the bar, I'll
You steal from humans all you like, but don't you be stealing from hard-working legs.
Oh no, it's not stealing. He's putting a larger bill to take some smaller ones.
Let Astro order his drinks.
I'll have 3 beers, please, sir.
No, you'll have 3 beers. I'm not giving away free beers. He grins and fills 3 suitably big tankards with frothing ale.
And,
here we are, my lad.
I saw you've got a robot. Have you got any fuel for that robot? What you could give my friend here, who is a robot as well?
Yeah, I can see that. I guess we could chuck in another couple of pennies, and we'll see about sorting them out.
Oh, be ever so grateful, Gav.
I'm sure I can afford it. Here you go, and I'll give him a ludicrously expensive coin.
Yeah, he scoops some charcoal into a beer mug and hands it over to you.
Oh, appreciate it.
Don't drink it all at once.
I'll sip it.
It's standing room only, really, but you find a corner where there's a bit more room to stand, and having Flock with you, he tends to create space around him.
Funny how that works.
I can just take the gas mask off, give us some more space, but you have to deal with the smell.
Yeah, why do you smell like chemicals?
I don't know. Why are you made of metal?
I'm asking you out of character, though.
I am a mutant, a misbegotten.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I don't know if that's related. I think. Okay, there we go. Word of God.
Now we know.
We'll have to rub him down with some whale blubber. We'll try to neutralize it.
That's what's creating the goo in my gas mask.
These characters are fun.
All right. Is there any cloaked, hooded figure perched up in the corner?
Every corner has someone cloaked and hooded and interesting. sat in it.
I guess
I-
I'll
I-
stand on a table and say, "We're looking for work and we've got a ship."
Okay, so yeah, shortly after you say that, a guy wanders over to where you are. Looks like an airship crewman. You know, linen shirt, barefoot for better grip on the decks. Yeah, he seems to be a likely sort. You lad, your crew looking for work?
Yeah, we've got a ship, and we want some money.
All right. I might know a job. Give me takes out his pocket watch, flips it open, looks at it. Give me a quarter hour, and I'll see if I can offer you the work or not. So don't go anywhere.
If I could give you a quarter an hour, I'd be paying myself. No, I'm just kidding.
Robot humor. I don't get it. All right, and he slips off.
This was easy enough.
All right.
Another gentleman approaches you, handing out leaflets and gives you each one, whether you want it or not.
I'm sorry, I got as much as the guy getting out his pocket watch, and then my internet cut out again.
Okay. He said, "Wait here, quarter of an hour. I'll go and check with my boss and see if we can offer you a job or not."
Okay.
And then a pamphleteer came over and gave you all a pamphlet.
What's the pamphlet say?
The pamphlet says "Airship Rides for Monarchists," and there's a sort of black and white stencil print of an airship with several figures being thrown off it.
I like the sound of this.
Rise
Promising.
up, face down the neo-Victorian threat, overthrow the emperor.
I like the sound of this in theory, not in me practicing it.
Well, when the revolution comes, we'll call upon you, brother.
I don't think I'm strong enough to pick someone up and throw them overboard.
That's all right. You can just give him a shove.
That's what we have the plank for.
Yeah, and the throwing thing, it's more of a metaphor.
Well, I figure someone's gonna have to pilot the ship regardless.
But yeah, anyway, Sic Semper Tyrannis and all that. All right. Are you doing anything while you're waiting for the other gentleman to return?
I'm going to see if I can get some cigarettes.
You can easily get some cigarettes.
Okay, because
in exchange for some monies.
Victorian boy should be smoking for his health.
Yes.
Flock is probably trying to hit on the legs.
It's proving difficult because they can't speak.
Oh.
But you can try. Let's see.
This could be funny.
You don't have any capability in seduction or anything, and your presence is +0. So roll 1 dice.
1d6?
Yes.
Oh my god. I got a 5. It's respectable.
No, that's bad. You need a 1 or a 6 to get a success.
Oh, it's a roll low system.
Yeah. Well, no, it's a 1 or a 6. It's a dice pool system.
Oh, weird.
Okay, so you stroll up to the legs and give them your best pickup line, which is probably terrible.
1100001.
I said,
If I said I had a beautiful body, could I attach it to you?
That's a nice pair of gams you got there. Would you mind if I suck your toes? Oh, wait a minute.
She doesn't have toes. The shoes are built into the legs.
Exactly.
She gives a toot of annoyance and stamps on your foot, which does no good, but it's humiliating to be rejected by legs.
I have been humiliated.
Yes. What about the rest of you? Minus Asteroid, whose internet keeps cutting out.
Jonathan's probably gonna be trying to get in on some sort of gambling. Try to find someone there who's got a card game going on that he can kind of get in on and try to earn a little bit. At least enough for the next round.
Yeah, you could sit in for a hand of cards. Probably some kind of poker analog. I don't think gambling is a skill.
Can I assist with this?
Possibly.
Like to just keep raising the stakes so everyone else falls out, and we just sort of work this kind of like a hustle.
Oh.
Yeah, that'll help. Okay, so Caster, can you just roll 2 dice and tell me if you get any successes?
I got a 1.
So that's 1 success. Despite your hustling ways, you lose. So
my 1 Helios.
Oh, that would be a big bet. So maybe you lose a quarter of that. So
I'll put up my 0.25 and lose that.
Okay, you're now skint then. It was a good plan. It just failed. All right.
What was the next tavern then?
Well, the guy with the pocket watch returns after your failure at the card table. Yeah, the boss would like to see you. Come with me.
All right.
Sounds like we should.
So he leads you out of the inn and in through the inner spiraling alleyways of Savile Row. Deeper and darker under the disc to where it is lit by the very occasional electric battery lamp or gas lights or lanterns of other descriptions. Eventually, you arrive at what seems to be his boss's place. There's a few swarthy-looking piratical types hanging around outside as guards, a pair of lanterns either side of the entrance. The doorknob is ostentatiously covered in gold. In here, he strolls up, whispers in the ear of one of the guards. The guard nods to the other guard. The door is opened and you're led inside. It's quite clean in here, but it still smells a bit kind of sweaty and close. Like your regular crew's quarters. You all have nice cabins, but the crew all kind of hang out in the same area in hammocks and things, and it can get a bit
musty,
sweaty down there. Yeah, and that's what it smells like in here. Old gym socks and well-worn tracksuits. The fellow leads you through. There are rooms tucked off here, there, and everywhere, full of junk of all kinds, recovered from below. Yeah, oddments and artifacts from the past, and some may well be from the future. It's one of those sorts of places. He leads you deeper inside until you find yourselves in a little office. There's a big desk inlaid with gold, and the sweaty smell is covered in here slightly by the smell of tobacco. the guy who seems to be the boss is sat leaning back in his chair. He's old, but indeterminately old. Thin, receding hair, little round smoked glasses perched on the end of his nose, big fat cigar in his hands. He's replete with dozens of rings, bracelets, gold chains. Yeah, he's a shifty looking geezer, all right. The ship I was told of.
The good ship geek, my friend.
Geek? That seems a rather short name for such a vessel.
We have cover as a circus. It's a work in progress.
Cover. So you are swashbucklers of the skies. You are a bit dodgy, right?
Well, whatever pays the bills.
Yes, bills. So you wouldn't be averse to a little bit of work?
Not at all.
We like work.
And from what the little birdies tell me, you've got no money to speak of.
I wouldn't say no money, but
Well, we have money, but it's kind of hard. It's about enough to fill a pocket or so.
Oh no,
Right,
there's lots of money to be had. It's just not in our pockets yet.
Quite. Now I'm willing to put some of my money in your pockets, or rather, I've got people that could fix up your ship, make it all ship shape, fix those tears in your balloon, fix the dents that you've left, keep the docks sweet. Yeah, fill your fuel tanks with the appropriates, and all you'd have to do is a small favor for me.
how small?
What's a small favor between friends?
About
Well,
6 inches, probably.
Wise beyond your years, young lad. So we're not that far from Felscar. It's a neo-Victorian city inland a bit. Don't know if you're familiar. Lots of mansions, lots of the toiling poor. You know the kind of place. Neo-Victorian, ruled with an iron hand, all of that. There's a fella there, Lord Anton Laguva. Now, he has one of those big mansions, and he fancies himself a bit of an explorer, bit of a hunter. He likes taking out to the wilds and pretending he's got to live a hard-scrabble existence like the rest of us. You know the type, right? Anyway, so he comes up here not too long ago, hires a few of my fellas, couple of airships to go with his, takes off, goes hunting on the plains of Doggerland, and let's just say he didn't treat my people too right, and he didn't share the wealth that he found too fairly, and he owes me a few helios. Let's put it that way. Owes me a bit more, to be honest, a blood debt.
And you want us to help correct this?
Exactly. So he's got one of these big mansions, big gaff up on the mountain, right? And he keeps all kinds of amazing, wondrous things there. But he's got this one place, calls it the Glass Vault, right? And apparently that's where he keeps his best treasures. And the way I see it, he owes me for my lad's blood and for 2 lost airships. I can't go near him because he knows me. He knows my gang, knows my fellas. But he doesn't know you. is what I'm thinking. And you've got an airship, albeit in bad shape. You've got a cover story. You could maybe stroll in there and take whatever it is that he's got that's worth a fair bit of scratch. And then me and him would be even. And me and you would be even because I'm hiring you to do it for me.
We're not exactly ruffians.
I was thinking more thieves.
Oh, it's not thievery if the money was owed to you.
All right, collection agents then.
It's not our fault if you can't. If it's not our fault if you can't properly protect what's his, then it really wasn't his.
Bailiffs. Look, you can call yourself fucking ballerinas for all I care, but all I know is he fucking owes me. And you have rolled up here as instruments of my revenge.
I've honestly, Gov, I've never stolen a thing in my life, but I reckon I could probably nick what you are after.
Grim, this guy totally comes off like Brick Top.
A bit. Doesn't have a big farm though.
An horrible fucking cunt.
Yes. Do you even know what nemesis means?
All right, then. Do you have maps? Anything? Anyone cased this place before? Or
I can give you a certain amount of intelligence. Me and my geezers have been keeping an eye on him. So, Lagova Manor. It's not the highest one. It's on the second peak, and it's the second highest mansion on the second peak. He starts ruffling around in his desk, takes out some sketches people have done of it. Right, so the glass vault is built into the upper levels. The spire has a sort of well in it, and it's down there. Supposedly it's armored glass, so I don't know if that's going to be the best way to get in. Probably not. He's got his own private, guards, mostly ex-military that hang around. But there is some good news. It seems that Lord Lagova is having a bit of a shindig in a couple of days. Big party for all the posh knobs, right? So there'll be a lot of people there. They'll have most of his collection, but probably not the choice items, out on show to impress the locals and that, right? So that might give you some cover, might keep his guards busy, give you a way to get in. Sweet.
Easy enough, but I'm not exactly the high society type.
Did my internet just crap out, or?
Sorry, keep crapping out.
Okay, because everybody kind of like disappeared, reappeared for a second there.
Okay, I don't know.
I guess.
Right then. So I suppose the question is, how are we going to sneak a couple of our people in? Surely these parties are going to need help.
Likely, but I don't exactly move in them circles. It's probably hiring some entertainers. Someone like yourself might be able to scrub up nice, get in that way, perhaps. Don't know. I think it's invitation only, but I'm sure enterprising gentlemen such as yourselves won't have any trouble getting hold of an invite.
Sounds reasonable.
This seems like you're... Yeah, John, this seems like you're gonna take lead on this.
I'm sorry, gentlemen. I keep having these horrible blackouts, and I don't really know what's going on.
You did have a whole beer to yourself.
I did. I mean, I normally drink about 3 beers a day because the water's poisonous. This was an exceedingly strong beer, and I'm not really sure what's going on.
It was German beer.
Well, if it was an exceedingly strong beer, it was probably made by someone called Kipling. So
The last thing I remember was we came in here and then I had a blackout and then he said something about stuff behind glass.
There's a
Yes,
vault.
we're gonna go
Quite
case
a
a
lot.
rather nice place.
I wonder if
you've got-
perhaps I should retire to bed.
if you think that would be best. There you go. I think Simon's internet runs on hamsters and rubber bands.
Pretty
It
sure.
was those two kids from out front of the bar.
Yes, they're running it. It's every time they change over. All right. So then, Mr.
Drizzle, Jonathan Drizzle.
So then, Mr. Drizzle, are we of an accord? You will wreak my vengeance upon this lordling and bring me whatever you can blag from his glass vault.
Of course. Now, is there anything that is that you want off limits? Anything that we ought not take? Or
Nah, fucking wreck him.
All right. These are the kind of jobs I like.
Yeah. Oi, Errol, get their ship seen to.
Errol! He did it.
Much as I enjoy a bit of the old ultra violence, unfortunately I had another blackout just after I started talking about my blackouts. So I think I'm going to go and have a lie down in the ship.
All right.
All right. Feel better.
Someone will have to stay and watch the ship.
Sorry guys, enjoy the rest of the game. I can't keep
No, it's okay. Understood. Yeah. Good luck with the better internet. All right.
Right then. So
Oh,
I suppose
yeah. Drizzle, just one more thing. If you cross me, I'll cut you.
Do I really seem like the type of person that would go and double cross you? I mean, you've gone so far your way to look to repairing our ship.
Well,
The
you
way I
beat
see
your
it-
cabin boy so hard, he keeps having blackouts.
And he's getting better.
All right. Well, is there anything else I can do
You should
for
have seen
you?
the sorry shape he was in before I started beating him.
Oh, right. You're just panel beating his head back into shape, are you?
Look at the
Well,
wonders
is
it
there
did for
anything
fun.
else? Is there anything else
Had
I
a
can
mug
do
on
for you?
it.
Or are you now on it?
Oh, I'd say we're on it.
All right. Well, I'll bid you good day then. Works on your ship should be finished pretty quick. Errol knows what he's about. He knows which ears to bend. So, get out of my fucking house.
Done.
And
That
so
one's a
that's
right
what's-
bastard, isn't he?
He's a bastard with money, though.
Straight shooter. I like that. So, how am I getting in there? I mean, is this kind of one of those settings where I could go in as one of those like far off exotic curiosities that everyone could gawk at?
Hypothetically, but Lord Lugover would know that he hadn't captured you. So you'd have to keep away from him.
Or if what if Drizzle, you're another big game hunter and you're bringing in a wild man from the far north, south, east, or west, whichever makes the most sense.
Oh yes, this is something we can work with. Let's see. I tracked him down over 3 weeks across in the Far East, and down to the very last of my supplies. I eventually managed to track down and corner you with the help of my robotic friend here.
Totally.
Fighting single-handedly, one arm broken. I managed to outfence him. Captured him.
All right.
Brought him to show off to the world.
You outfence
Yes.
me. All right.
I suppose this could work.
That's totally believable.
I'll go with it.
Okay.
Now I suppose we'll have to go and try to go down to some of the entertainment circles to try to procure admittance.
Yeah, I mean, you'll have to get to this other city, Felskar. You got at least a couple of days, so your sponsor seemed to suggest. So you will have time to scout about, get the lay of the land, maybe find a few things out.
What if we send, or you send your robotic emissary to make an introduction? Yeah. And you let him know that the freak you captured, you want to show him off in exchange for admittance to his party.
Well, first, I'm going to have to find someone very large to roll so I can take his nice outfit. Actually,
I can do that.
Jonathan, why don't you and I go and see if we can't steal some nice clothes from people who really, really wouldn't mind losing a set of clothes?
Would it be fair to say we might have something like that on the ship for cover purposes?
You've got theatrical costumes. Probably got.
Like
Probably got
walking into
What about a bullwhip?
I think you've probably got a bullwhip.
Okay,
for
I want to crack a whip and.
There's probably some paint. You could paint a tuxedo onto Flock.
I am a sign painter.
It's an air quotes bull whip.
You slap that thing at me, and I'm gonna eat your head.
Come on, this is for the good of the ship. Just bear with it.
Just take a couple for the team, man.
All right. Let's go.
This plan's starting to come together.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So it'll take about a day for the repairs to be done. So you can hang out and enjoy what little you can afford of the pleasures of Caroline, the city, before it's time to leave. Yes, the poor cabin boy seems to have taken to his bed and not emerged. Listening at the door, you occasionally hear moans. He seems to be unwell. The ship's surgeon says to just leave him be.
Must have been whatever the captain ate as well.
Yes. No playeritis. It's terrible. It's going around. It's horrible. It infects your brain, turns you into an NPC.
Who was our captain supposed to be?
It's Captain Jill Pigeon is the captain. So could have been anyone.
Oh, could have been anyone. Too bad we couldn't have gotten Ghoul for that, but oh well.
Yeah, we could have had a full house of players tonight, but everyone's had problems of some description.
Abney Park's getting their revenge.
They are.
Yeah, they're going around threatening people and cutting off their internet, bastards.
Well, you did say they were assholes.
We've not forgotten that review.
Yeah. It's only been 12 years. They can hold a grudge. All right. Someone's going to need to make a piloting roll to take you to the other city.
My pilot's 2.
That makes you the best pilot.
Good, actually.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Okay, then. All right. So this is a weird roll system. So what are the re-rolls?
Okay. So what is your dexterity?
He's probably not got a big one. 2.
Okay. That's actually fairly good. And then what's your piloting skill? 2?
Mm-hmm. So 4 dice?
It's an average thing. So 4 dice, 1s and 6s count as successes.
Okay. Oh, wow. 1 6 and 2 1s.
Okay. And you get to re-roll the 6. And if you get another success, that adds on.
2. So no.
So no. So that's what, 3 successes?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You're getting used to this, even though the the steering thing for the ship is tiny in your enormous metal mitts.
I spent some of this time like practicing with the whip just to be a little more familiar with it, so I'm not just to make it less like I'm going to accidentally like actually hit Bilge.
You're probably hitting Flock because I don't think he can feel it.
Okay, if you're called upon, to use the whip at any point, I'll give you a bonus die for the first time you use it. By the way, now that we've noticed how low a lot of the stats are, there are things called fate points, which you can spend to do various things on your sheet. Fate points can be spent 1 for 1 to reduce damage or give you an automatic success. You can spend fate for other players on a 2 for 1 basis. And you can spend 6 fate all at once to get a script change. To re-roll an action or event, to have some coincidence save you from death, or to introduce or change a story element in some way.
That sounds fun.
Is our fate point, where's that located?
It's underneath your stats and initiative and movement.
It's that part of the character sheet that goes, ooh.
Also, if you look at your characters, you have complications, right? And if you choose to play up one of your complications in a situation, I will give you fate points.
So the O's are the fate points, or that's the health?
Those are the points. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so
I think I thought that was health.
No, health is down the bottom. Health, but it's also circles.
Yeah. All right. I'll defer to you.
Yeah. So your complications as Bilge are your amnesia, that you're easily recognizable, that you're disaffected and rebellious, and that you stink so bad. If you bring those into play, I will give you fate points. And so it goes for the other characters' complications.
Flock has rage. Oh no.
Rage.
All right. So you come swooping over reforested and rewilded England, heading into the Pennines. And eventually, according to your charts, and then according to your vision, Fell Scar comes into view. So it's a cluster of mountains, or at least what passes for mountains in England. And these mountain tops have been built up with cities, layer upon layer, standing tall, taking up the smallest amount of ground space possible. A thick miasma of smog hangs over the whole city. Occasionally you can see flecks of embers in the black smoke, and the constant pool of smoke rising into the sky helps form clouds, creating an almost permanent overcast cloud above the city. Fair few other airships heading in and out. You can also see well, not roads exactly, but areas carved into the landscape where land convoys also come in and out of the city. Swooping over it, you can see the various spires of the various mansions, and you can make out the one that's supposed to be Lord Lugavar's personal mansion. His is strikingly of much more modern design, cleaner lines than the kind of Victorian Gothic that marks out all of the other places and most of the other structures. However, to land, you have to move past that district and down to the peaks of the lower mountain next to the primary one. And that's where the towers and the tying off points for all the various airships are. And the smog is even thicker around this area. However, thanks to Flock's amazing roll, you're able to cut through the black clouds, which turn day into night, and find your way to an appropriate docking station.
Smog, I was born of this.
Molded by it.
The crew throw out lines. Dock workers on the tower grab them, tie everything off, and your airship is gradually pulled down to the docking ring.
Good landing, if I do say so myself, and I do.
Right then. Guess we should probably get a lay of the land, and let's go check out our the would-be esteemed host, shall we?
Let's be casual, though.
So you get a docking ticket permit and head down into the city. So this is the industrial district. So it's all sort of lower class people and a few middle class bosses. There's a lot of automata around, stamping around, going about their various duties. It's a fairly long way to the other mountain where the mansions are. You can walk.
Flock will nudge Jonathan, point out an automata. Oi, you see the tailpipe on her?
Chugga chugga, woo woo.
She's a gaper, she is.
Smoking hot. So you can either walk a very long way, or there are trains every so often, which hang below the rails and chunter along on those. Or you can flag down an automata-powered hansom cab to take you there.
We probably need to save a little bit of money, so
I think we're gonna have to walk unless anyone has any money on them.
I'm pretty sure I'm broke unless you want to roll somebody.
It'd be 5 cents each for a train ticket. 4 cents for a single. It's 5 for a return.
I think Castor's in another world.
You wanna? We could. I mean, always just pull somebody into the alley, take their ticket.
I mean, this is what you're best at. If you be so kind, Bills.
I'm gonna look around for a guy who seems to have way too much money that he needs to be parted with.
I'm gonna put a hand on your shoulder. I have complete faith in you.
Yeah.
Can you make a presence streetwise roll, please? So your presence is 0, so that's 2 dice.
All right. 1 and a 6.
And you get to reroll the 6?
Just the 1 and the 6.
So 2 successes. All right. Yes. Amongst all the filthy street urchins and factory workers, with their emaciated, haunted, and ghostly features. There is a plumper face amongst the multitude, a red-faced pig of a man in a short top hat, tailcoat, walking cane with a silver tip, the whole bit. He has a servant carrying far too many cases behind him, while this gentleman is carrying nothing. Come on, Carstairs, keep up.
All right. I'm gonna bump into him. Watch where you're walking.
Oh, I do apologize. I didn't mean to cause any upset.
Upset? What's this all about? You got a problem with me?
No, I apologize for getting in your way.
Oh, now you're being sarcastic. All right. Just throw up both my fists.
Carstairs, fisticuffs. The manservant drops the various items and steps forward.
I
guess this is where Flock needs to step in.
Well, no, he just dropped the items. Just grab them and run.
What, you're going to grab his items, or do you expect someone else to?
Oh, well, I know. If Flock, I thought Flock was gonna do something. If you want, that's an idea we can go with. Otherwise, I'm just gonna knock him out and see what happens.
Flock is quite the puncher, so.
Well, it's for a fighting bilge, so presumably you're not using your claws.
No, I'm not trying to escalate it even further.
Then can you make a strength plus fisticuffs roll, please?
All right. Got a single one.
Okay, well that's better than Carstairs got. He's probably exhausted from carrying all the luggage. So you face off, and then you manage to get a punch in and flatten Carstairs' nose across his face. His eyes fill with tears, and he stumbles around, swinging blindly, and ends up punching a street urchin who's passing by quite innocently.
And then at that point, hey, you see that guy? He punched a kid. Get him!
Yeah. At which point, the working class hordes descend upon Carstairs.
It's always a good game when children can be harmed.
So yeah, you can steal his luggage, and you got an opportunity to get the tickets, which presumably Carstairs is carrying.
Oh well, our cabin boy is the best pickpocket.
Yeah, he is.
And he's indisposed. So can you roll your dexterity to try and sneak the tickets away? So that's 2 dice.
Unless anyone else wants to, I'm looking at Jonathan and Flock like, But yeah, I'm gonna try. 2 and a 4 now.
Okay. So for all that happened, you didn't manage to get the tickets, but you did manage to abscond with some of his luggage if you choose.
All right. Yep.
Okay. So you steal some of the luggage and run away. Yeah, there's plenty of nice, pressed shirts, shaving kit, nice travel clock, some other bits and pieces. Probably find a pawn shop and sell most of that. That should give you enough for tickets for everybody at the very least.
Yeah.
While you're busy doing that, I wanna move in afterwards to try and help the guy up and try to charm him a bit. Like I wasn't part of any of this. Like I help pick him up and kind of brush him off. Like, oh, it's such a shame that they allow these sort of ruffians in this area. Don't you agree?
Yes, terrible. Poor Carstairs. Look at his nose.
we'll have to set that then, won't we? Because I moved to like try to.
Do you have any medical skill?
I do. I have medicine.
So you do. Make a
Wits.
That's the normal stat for that. So 5 dice. You're actually quite good at this.
So let's make sure we can get your servant looking presentable. I mean, we don't want to leave any nasty scars or any poor broken noses. Let's see, 2 1s, a 6, 3 successes.
And you rerolled the 6?
Yes.
Okay. Yep, that's a good roll. All right, so you grab hold of Carstairs' swollen neb, yank it, and then straighten it with a forcible crunch. He squeals like a stuck pig, but then blinks, and the swelling seems to have gone down slightly around his eyes. Take it, Barry Budge.
You might want to put some ice on that, and you should be fine in a couple of days.
Okay. And his master helps him up. Oh, some rapscallions had it away with our luggage, Carstairs, as well. Well, pick up what's left, says a good fellow. That's I still have my wallet. Miracle of miracles. Next train should be along before too long. Go on, Carstairs, don't be such a squib.
You know, it's quite fortunate that I happen to be here at the right time to help you out there.
Oh, yes, quite. I'm sorry. What was I thinking? Here, a small gratuity for your service. He presses a 5-cent coin into your hand.
Can I roll a charm to try to get a little something more?
Oh, yes. So that's presence and charm. So that's 4 dice.
4 dice. 2 successes.
Nice.
Okay. He after pressing the 5-cent coin into your hand, he goes, Let's make it 10.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. That's so I gotta point. I kind of put off and look off in a direction. I think I see them running that way. You might be able to catch up with them.
It's probably important to let the audience and the players know at this point that at this point in time, if this were actual Victorian England, 2pence was all you had to pay to have a roll in the hay with someone.
Yeah,
just 2 pennies.
A penny would get you a beer and a meal. Yeah, and a fairly decent one at that. But yeah, anyway, we're playing it fast and loose with the money. But yeah, it does emphasize that this chap had more money than sense. All right, he takes off after the presumed rascals who stole his luggage, with Carstairs following behind as best he can with his wounds and with the rest of the luggage. This is quite a comedic thing to watch. You have enough money to buy your tickets and board the Sky train.
I honestly feel a little sorry for that guy.
Well, gentlemen, I think this was a rousing success. And hey, some kind of like jingling for emphasis.
Don't jingle those too loud. Somebody will want to steal them.
I was hoping the guy would take a swing. Felt bad about the servant. You're right about that. But I mean, he got in the way.
I stood by to help if you needed it.
All right. Let's take our break there now. So let's say 10 minutes. Just grab a drink, use the loo, whatever else it is you need to do. And we'll see the people watching back in a sec. So
Yay.
10 minutes. Welcome back.
Yeah.
Hello. What song was that anyway?
That was Analog Mechanic by Technoax.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, was it an actual? But it wasn't. I thought you were going to do an actual Abney Park song. But
They're probably the kind of people that would, have the copyright stuff up. So.
oh, I'm sure they absolutely will. I'm absolutely sure they would.
All right.
I did find out, I think, why I couldn't find the fate points. Bilge doesn't have any.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, I don't either.
I must have missed them off for some reason.
I guess I just got all the fate for you guys instead.
Well, I guess you're going to have to do all the luck for us then.
Yep.
Just roll well. That's all you got to do.
Add them to your character sheets.
And how many do we get?
8.
8. Okay.
Alrighty then.
So we've got some nice clothes.
Yes, because you stole his luggage.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Nothing that'll fit me, I'm sure.
Are you going to change into them in the middle of a train carriage, given neo-Victorian morality?
Probably not.
It just doesn't seem like a good idea.
No. Okay, so yeah, the train carriage has very, very nice seats, though they're a bit worn. Green leather, much patched, with little squares of green leather sewn on where it's torn. Lots of wood, lots of decorative brasswork. Little windows into several panes that you can peer out of. After a few moments, the train gets going, lurches away ahead. It sways slightly from the rail that it's hanging from, which is a bit disconcerting as you pass over buildings below and ascend towards the second mountain. You punch through the worst of the veil of smog and emerge, and for a moment get a view, quite a fantastic view of the valley between the mountains, with a river running down through it, and small little farms dotted here and there outside the outskirts of the city itself. All rather pleasant. And you leave the industrial smog behind, hidden from the views of the wealthier residents by its own miasma, and eventually arrive at the station at the upper part. So you're able to disembark. It's still a bit smoggy here. Yeah, it smells a bit of gas, and there's still a lot of fireplaces, so it's not smog-free. There's a kind of sooty blackness on everything, but it is a lot cleaner than the other city. To you, of course, used to the rarefied air high above the ground, it all seems a bit dirty and smelly and just generally unpleasant, but at least it's nicer than where you were. Around here, though, you kind of stick out like sore thumbs.
We'd better get changed pretty quick. Actually, you probably haven't applied the paint yet, have you?
Bilge?
Yeah, you're the painter.
Oh, I was actually going to paint a tuxedo?
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't think I can wear clothes.
Oh, all right, yeah. I can, yeah. No, I'll paint them up nice.
Okay, well, let's pretend you did.
All
So
right.
yeah, Do you want to roll to see how good a job you did of painting a tuxedo?
Sure.
So that's dexterity. So 4 dice.
Maybe use a fate point to add to it.
Oh, let's not go crazy with them.
I did get a 1, so it's not
success.
a 0. Yeah.
Okay. You have crudely and quickly painted the rough outline of a tuxedo in paint on Flock. It's, good enough. You can tell it's a tuxedo.
All right.
So what is the plan now that you're in the upper class district? And presumably you'll sneak into an alley somewhere and change into better clothes. And Bilge is still going to stick out like a sore thumb no matter what you do.
I can wear
Well,
like
we'll
a...
have to-
Go ahead.
Oh, so we'll have to go and try to get some attention. I mean, try to get the attention of some of the upper crust people. So between Bilge and Flock, we'll have to kind of play it up as exotic hunters.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say I'll just change into a loincloth and just snarl at everyone.
And smell at everyone.
Yeah.
Smell at everyone.
Then perhaps we should also come up with some sort of leash.
Oh, you just have to.
How crazy are we going to go with this?
We spent all day talking about docking.
Well, we can't just have a wild beast roaming around without any sort of control.
Can. It's just a bad idea.
All right, fine. Put on my collar for daddy.
It's so wrong. I feel dirty now, thanks.
Nice snug little collar with metal spikes on it and a little tag that says, "If found, please keep it." Okay, so just let me get this straight. You're posing as an exotic hunter who has returned from the wilds with his steam-powered robotic gentleman's gentleman with a crudely painted tuxedo on him and a naked savage who smells really bad on a leash.
Well, you make it sound stupid when you put it like that.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think I make it sound stupid. I just think it is objectively stupid. But I'm willing.
We are dealing with nobility who get quite eccentric.
This is true.
That's why I was saying just have him, the butler, deliver the message that you want an audience to show off your captured wild man.
Yeah.
And then
just
build
showing
up
up on his doorstep.
That's a good idea.
Glad you thought of it.
Okay, well, there are small public parks up here, so you're able to find some privacy in a small thicket of trees to decide on all this and to come up with your plans, such as they are. So, what do you want to do first?
Well, while Flock delivers some message, perhaps we should be in the park going through some sort of routine tricks.
Bilge growls.
You're going to do putting on the Ritz.
Well, surely, since it is a public park, I mean, this would play to our advantage to get people talking, and then surely they would want a private presentation at their soiree.
All right, yeah, I'll play along.
So Mr. Drizzle is charming, but can't actually perform. So he can't sing or dance. And Bilge, his party trick is that he is a freak. So,
Ooh,
great party
what
trick.
What if as part of this, I've trained this wild beast to paint.
True, you could do that. Okay, so in that case, can Bilge make a painting roll? And can Mr. Drizzle please make a charm roll?
So just painting plus dex.
Yeah.
No.
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 But we could. I'm gonna play it all. We could play it off like I'm learning how to paint.
Yes.
You can see this horrible wild man can draw a stick figure.
He could whip you thoroughly in public. That would be entertaining. What did you get on the charm roll?
1.
So
hey,
okay.
Look, the more I whip him, the more red paint he has.
No, you're not helping.
Yeah, it doesn't go terribly well, this performance. I mean, you've got your patter down, so you attract a small crowd of people. But then Bilge, perhaps distracted by the crowd or feeling resentful towards the posh people, just can't. No, yeah, and some of the crowd are like, "Oh, it's terrible. The perspective's wrong."
Snobs.
So yeah, they don't put any money in the hat, but people do know that there's a weird freak painting in the park. So that's something at least. So meanwhile, Flock was making his way to the mansion, I believe, to somehow try and invite yourselves to the soiree. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. Flock is going to try to do this.
Okay, so yeah, you stomp your way up the street. You're basically a mechanical servant, so nobody pays you too much heed, even though you've had a tuxedo painted on you.
Yeah.
So eventually you arrive at Lugava's Manor. It's a great big tall tower stretching up into the sky, notable next to its compatriots by the fact that it is much more simply adorned, clean lines and so on, larger windows than most of the others, with larger panes of glass in them. There's a wall enclosing a small sort of garden grounds around the base of the tower. Big, heavy-duty wrought iron gates with fleur-de-lis spikes across the top. There is a rope built into the surrounding wall, which presumably is attached to a bell somewhere inside the house. And it says tradesman at rear.
I don't think I count as a tradesman so much, so I'll assume that the front door is the way to go.
Okay. So, ring the bell.
Yes.
Okay. The front doors ratchet open, and a 3-legged serving automaton with 3 arms and a separate sort of rotating section comes trundling out, lurching along like a spinning milking stool until it arrives at the gate, and a tinny voice emerges from inside it. Yes?
Hello, I'm here to see your master about a piece of entertainment delivered by my master.
I see. Well, the master does not generally talk to serving folk outside of his own servants. I can convey the message.
Very well. Please tell your master that my master, Lord... whatever name we were using.
I don't think we actually came up with a cover name.
Damn it.
Do you want to spend a fate point?
Yes, I will spend a fate point. Or actually, Ironcaster should do it. But
Yeah, I can spend a fate.
Well, you're okay.
technically his
What
fault.
is the cover name? Lord
Drippington.
Sure.
Lord Drippington has just come back from the wilds and wishes to show your master the latest catch.
I see. Fascinating. I do not have a Lord Drippington in my card index.
Well, he has been abroad.
I see. Very well. I shall convey the message. Do you wish to wait while I see if you've garnered an invitation?
That would be fine.
I shall return forthwith. And
I don't suppose you happen. I don't suppose you have any of the good oil, do you?
Not for sharing. He clatters off on his 3 legs. All right,
Cheapskate.
let's see. How convincing were you?
We need a roll, I guess.
Yes, that'll be a charm roll.
Oh, because that's my absolute special thing that I do is charming people. Shit.
Yes, I will give you a bonus die for the appropriateness of what you're trying to pull over on them.
So
two dice. You remember you can spend fate.
I'll have to, probably. But we'll see what the dice give us first.
Yeah.
It's a 5 and a 2, so that's no successes.
No successes.
Jeez.
A fate point will give you 1 success.
I feel like I need more though. But yeah, let's go ahead and spend it. I mean, what the hell? Let's do it.
Okay. The automaton eventually comes rattling out again from the entrance and extends an arm through the bars of the gate, holding an envelope. An invitation for your master.
Thank you, my good man. Appreciate you.
The party is keep track of time. Said a couple of days. So the day after tomorrow, the gates will open at 6 p.m. sharp. Come dressed for dinner.
Very good. Thank you.
And he rattles away back into the house.
I rattle away back to our waiting party. If I could breathe, I'd be breathing a sigh of relief.
When you arrive back at the park, there's a conspicuously empty hat on the ground, and Drizzle is trying to excite the crowd into paying money for Bilge's terrible paintings, which are only getting worse and worse as he gets more and more frustrated.
Well, can I feign some nonsense about sophistication of art? Try to do a charisma to convince people that this is actually our brilliant art.
Postmodern.
Yeah, it's such an underrated talent. A talent that's so exotic that they've never heard of him before.
So my old art tutor used to say that art was 10% talent and 90% bullshitting.
He's not wrong.
No. So, yeah, make a charm roll, but it's going to be a difficult task, so I am rolling against you.
One success. Well, actually, that's a 6. That's another 6. 2 6s.
Okay, so that evens out with the 2 successes that I got, rounding out to 0. It's a very convincing line of patter, but the paintings are just that bad.
I'm starting to draw different paintings of just one stick figure with a gas mask ripping the head off another stick figure with a fancy hat.
All right, but you
Passive-aggressive
have
art.
a day and a half to get further ready or to gather any more information. So, what do you want to do?
I suppose we should probably plan our getaway. Once we get the treasure, we need to escape.
It's on the roof, right?
Yeah.
If our airship's done, or at least functional,
Which it is.
that might be a way.
Yeah, and it has NPC crew who can bring it in for you.
Would that be too conspicuous to have the ship around, or are there just airships everywhere?
There are airships boarding around, but if it came over the posh district and lingered, that would be a problem.
I could paint an ad on the side.
Perhaps part of some grand entrance.
Sure. Tell me what to do, Captain. I say I really put a stank on the captain.
Oh, let's see. We should. Let's see. The hoity-toity types will need to. We'll have to really wow them as we show up. So we had best make sure the ship is looking nice and clean and, I don't know, bright circusy type colors.
I can do
Unless,
that.
of course, you want to spend some more time in the park and work on our painting.
I can paint when I need to. That's code for I'll use fate points.
Well, roll first, because you might do
All
well.
All right. We going with this?
Yep.
All right. Gonna roll my 4 die to spruce up the balloon.
The geek.
Could he get
All
any
right.
sort of benefit from having NPC crew to help him out?
Oh wait.
Be done quicker.
661. And I rolled another one on the reroll. So 4 successes.
All right. Yeah, so you repaint the whole ship stem to stern with the crew's help. You know, bright red and yellow circus colors, and paint a big sign on the side. Lord Drippington's flying circus.
All right. And maybe we rappel down. Big entrance.
I like it.
Put on your sort of an air of like, oh, the Lord Drippington, the adventurer.
Bit Lord Flashheart.
Just for good measure, I try to get some adventurer hat. Of course, I'm totally. Look, I have the hat for it.
You do have theatrical costumes, and some sort of explorer hat is bound to be amongst them. Okay. So now the plan is to fly in by airship, rappel down to make your grand entrance to the party. And then once you're all inside, somehow make your way to the vault, find whatever the treasure is, get out, climb back up to the airship and run away?
Well, we'd be on the roof, I thought.
Well, yeah, true.
Closer.
Closer, yeah, so slightly less climbing.
Perhaps we could,
Either
as part of this, feign a damage to the ship, or perhaps we feign that the ship has been in some way prevented from being able to get out of there, so that it doesn't rouse too much suspicion for being in the airspace for this prolonged period.
I thought that was the whole point of. All right. I mean, either way, the paint, I thought it was like, ooh, look, everybody, we got a big airship here. There's a big spectacle.
True.
Yeah, I thought the airship was part of the whole thing.
I guess I'm overthinking things a little bit.
No, I'm not saying it's a good idea on my part. I'm just saying that's my reasoning.
Yeah.
Okay. So is there any other prep or planning or intelligence gathering or anything you want to try to do before the party?
Yes. Flock is superstitious, so in order to engender good luck and good fortune, I don't even have any idea what this world would use for like symbols of fortune, but whatever they are, he's painting or carving them on various surfaces.
Okay. Rabbit's foot, sailor's lucky knot,
Four-leaf clover.
four-leaf clover, find a penny, pick it up.
Yep. So basically, every little last piece of good luck charmery that he can, he's hanging it or putting it up somewhere or doing it or whatever like that. So people are probably going like, "You're really acting weird, Mr. Flock."
You can have a fate point.
Cool.
And yeah, you've driven much of the crew crazy with your insistence on good luck rituals and charms.
Can I, I'm sure we have makeup. Can I disguise myself enough to look like just another working class guy, go in when they're setting up, try and get some work from whoever the foreman is, and just start gossiping with the tradesmen and the other guys?
Your mutations are, you've got a specific flaw that your mutations are hard to cover up, and you stink, and no amount of makeup is going to make a difference there. So probably not, I'm afraid.
All right. Yeah, we're a bit short. Drizzle, I mean, you could try that.
Yeah, fair enough. I might as well give that a shot.
Put on maybe a fake mustache and beard. Something to disguise
my mustache. They'll
I'm
never
imagining one of Inspector Clouseau's disguise kits. It's hemp.
It is a minky.
I'm just trying to give us any idea, anything besides just run in.
Okay, so Bilge is good at disguise, just not good at disguising himself. So if Bilge can make a disguise roll to make Drizzle look different.
That's presence, so just 3.
Yes.
All right. Oh, 3 successes. And that train stops there.
Okay. You are unrecognizable under your wax nose and wig and various other accoutrements. So with that, sorry, how many successes did you get?
3.
3. Okay. So
don't start smoking a pipe. Got it.
You're gonna have to charm your way in. But you get 3 extra dice for it. So 7 dice total.
Yeah, so I will go back. I will go to the servant quarters or the servant entrance out back.
Yeah.
And go to seek out some work. Like I heard that
there are guards here, but there is also a lot of foot traffic coming in and out. Various people helping set up for the party. So you just got to charm your way in. 7 dice. I don't see you failing, to be honest.
Not really. But you never know.
3 with 2 6s. Another 6. That's a 1. That's 5 successes.
Okay. The guards aren't particularly on the ball, and you are a charming fellow, despite your waxy nose and everything else stuck to your face. So, yeah, they just assume that you're one of the other workers that has come to help set things up. There's a lot of people in brown coats moving heavy objects around. Once you get inside, so there's a ground floor with a very large sort of sweeping spiral staircase that rises up through the tower. The first 2 or 3 levels are kind of open with rooms around the outside. Down here is the entrance hall. There's a bunch of giant stuffed animals on various plinths and other things that he's found out in the wilds, like mineral formations or strange things out of time that he has found and presented. There's a rusted hulk of a Dodge Charger balanced on its end as one of the displays, and a stuffed giant sloth, a moose head being set up on one of the walls.
Always a moose head.
Always a moose head. All kinds of weird and wonderful stuff, and as well as that, several large tables are being set up presumably for the meal that's going to be served. But yeah, there's people all over the place moving things.
Right. Could I spend a fate point to plant a disguise kit under one of these tables?
I would suggest trying to sneakily do it first. So you don't have hide sneak, but you can still make a dexterity roll.
Well, because I didn't. I asked because we didn't necessarily plan it out too far ahead.
No, that's fine. Yeah, so just make a dex roll. Spend a fate point if you need to.
Planning is something other people do. We just kind of wing it.
It's 1 6. 1 success.
Okay. That's enough. Yeah, while everyone's busy, you sneak a disguise kit under the table.
By one of the doorways, so I can just kind of grab that and sneak out through
as necessary. Yeah. What else do you want to do while you're in here? You've not seen the Lord himself, and supposedly he's unmarried. It seems a very big place for just one person. But other than the workers, the only other things you've seen are automata. Like his butlers and servant staff all seem to be automata, and a few human guards.
Are those guards? What are? I want to go up towards the upstairs so I can kind of scout that out.
Okay, so these first 3 floors are fairly open with rooms around the outside. These seem to be like small libraries dedicated to different topics, a couple of private sort of smoking rooms, drawing rooms, a room for ladies to retire to as well. His personal quarters seem to be on the even higher levels of the tower. The staircase does continue to wind up, but then there's the roof across it that it rises through. But there is an automaton stationed at the top of the stairs where it moves from sort of public areas of the tower to the private areas of the tower, and it warns you off as you approach. The upper floors are for his lordship's use only. Your presence is not required unless requested.
All right, I'm going to make a note of this and, fade back into the role and go back downstairs to move about and look like I'm doing stuff.
Yeah, you can try and look like you're being useful. Someone will probably press you into service to actually do something useful if you like you're not already doing something. But yeah, there are flower arrangements being brought in, some of the food that will last until tomorrow is being brought in.
Yeah, with that, I'll just make my way back out.
Okay. And when you're done, sneak away back to the others. Right. Anything else? Last chance.
No, I think that's it.
Okay. Right. So the day of the soiree arrives. You sort out your costumes, give Flock a fresh coat of paint.
Yep.
To make sure he looks his best. And then wait till the early evening and fly the airship. So who's flying? Flock?
Probably.
Okay. Can you make a piloting roll, please?
Yep. 4 dice again? Yeah.
Yep.
Doke. Okay, so only a 1 or a 6 is a success?
Yeah.
So it's no successes on 4 dice.
Okay. Do you want to spend any fate?
I think I had better.
Just the one? It's enough.
Yeah, if as long 1 is enough.
Okay. So fire up the engines. The propellers start to rotate. The sails unfurl. You pull back away from the mooring tower and fly off through the smog, emerging out of it, leaving twirling streamers of it behind you, and flit over across to the second mountain and the high spire of the Lord's Manor. A horrible crosswind emerges through the valley and nearly spins you to crash into his tower, but you manage to avoid it just by slamming the engines on full reverse. The crew throw down the ropes, and one of them takes over at the wheel for Flock, ready for you to make your grand entrance. Down below, you can see various automata dragged hansom cabs, a few horse-drawn as well. The guests seem to be arriving, though now many of them have stopped to look upwards at this garish object intruding on their sky.
You're not going to make us roll to rappel down, are you?
I am. That would be an athletics roll.
Okay.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, sure.
This is what I live for.
Also,
You're not going to miss the ground, put it that way.
Athletics index. So,
yeah.
I got 5 dice. And reroll 6s?
Yes.
2 successes.
2 as well.
4. 7 successes.
God, you just had to make it look good, didn't you?
Yeah, I got 3 6s.
Okay.
Well, of course, this is the grand entrance.
Yeah, so Flock plummets at high speed down the rope. He doesn't have to worry about rope burn, so he just flies down and lands with a heavy clang and creating a small crater when he lands. Bilge slides down with equal crude aplomb. And then Drizzle leaps dramatically, grabs one of the ropes, spins around it, coattails flapping behind him, holding onto his hat with one hand as he slides down, using his legs to grip the rope, and gives it the whole superhero landing at the bottom.
I just thought about this, but we didn't think about this. If Bilge is supposed to be your capture, shouldn't we have lowered him in a cage or something?
Well, I thought he's going to pick up the little leash.
Okay.
Yeah. And then as a good measure of show, I'll then crack the whips like, yeah, good creature.
A couple of the watching well-to-do break out spontaneously into golf claps at your landing. I say, well done.
Yes. I hear there was a bit of a soiree tonight, and I just so happen to have an invite to this to show off one of the fine creatures I've gone and gotten from those damned jungles in the Far East.
Oh, I see. And you keep it in your sway with this whip, do you?
Yes, yes. It's taken quite well to respond. Responding.
Oh. Don't worry about it.
To responding to the crack of the whip.
Well, I hope you'll keep it on a short leash and well away from the dinner table. The smell is quite ghastly.
Yes, well, table scraps will suffice for the creature.
Oh,
Grug prefer all food in bowl.
Nonsense. It's like we've taught him to be able to catch food you might toss to him.
Well, perhaps the fish course. All right, you join the line going in. The guards deferentially check your ticket, but check it they do, and welcome you in. Though they look a little put off by Flock and a lot put off by Bilge.
Well, I simply must have my servant with me.
It isn't usually a large servant, sir, and not really built for serving duties. It is a rather peculiar thing to have as a servant.
Well, he's very handy with keeping the creature at bay. Look at the size of him.
I'll give Bilge a friendly backhand. As if to emphasize it.
Behave, you cur!
Yes.
Eventually, the guards accede and allow you inside. All the gas lights are lit within, giving the whole place a warm, yellowy glow. The complicated outfits of the ladies and gentlemen, but more particularly the ladies, definitely contrasts with the much simpler and more aesthetic that the Lord apparently prefers within. People have gathered into small groups, just having polite chit-chat and conversation, though pretty much every eye in the place turns towards you as you make your entrance.
Now, this is the most important part of this whole thing, you see, gentlemen. Now comes the part where we have to truly sell it. This isn't all just for show.
One of the tripod manservant automators trundles up next to you and then through its speaker announces, "Lord Drippington, his manservant, and the creature."
Creature prefer to go by Grug.
The creature known as Grug. Lord Drippington is recently returned from abroad. And then it moves to announce the next group coming in.
Well, that was simple. I'm going to pass off the leash to Flock. After all, that's what a good servant's for.
Yeah. I'll hold the leash.
Did we bring an easel? Can we spend a fate point to have remembered that?
I'm sure
Yes.
Flock would have brought in something like that. Yeah.
I think spend a fate point because you wouldn't normally bring an easel to a party. But
all right, I'll spend it.
Okay.
Plus, it makes for a convenient bag to smuggle things with.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
There are even more displays of weird objects and things everywhere around here. The weird time radiation makes for a lot of interesting things out in the wilds, many of which don't seem to make particular sense to you. But it seems his lordship likes collecting them and also likes blowing holes in the various megafauna that are out there, and then having them stuffed and placed in various positions. There's a few extras. A giant cave bear with some kind of white powder all around its muzzle. A stuffed shark hanging from the rafters.
Is that a cocaine bear reference?
It is.
The Kane from Citizen Kane.
Yes.
Rosebud.
So, what do you want to do? His lordship hasn't made an appearance yet.
So I'll probably spend part of this time sort of. Well, are any of these other guests doing anything similar to us? Is there anyone bringing along any sort of fantastic discoveries?
Make a perception roll.
I hope somebody brought like tigers or something crazy.
I just want to see you wrestle a tiger.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
I just want to let one loose. That way it gives us cover.
Let's see, 2. Oh, that's another 6. 4 successes.
4 successes. Yes, a couple of people seem to have brought small items. There is a slightly disheveled gentleman in a slightly stained waistcoat with thick Coke bottle glasses, carrying a doctor's bag, but in his arms rather than by the handles. So it seems like they seem to have brought things either as gifts or to be appraised by his lordship, who is obviously an expert in such matters.
And somebody,
I'm going to make
and
quick
somebody,
like
one at a time.
Yeah.
Go ahead, t-shirt.
Okay, somebody did bring a tiger, like a particularly big, fierce one, because I spent a fate point to make that happen.
Okay. Yes, someone brought a big fierce tiger, but they didn't bring it in here.
Yes.
You saw it outside in a partially covered cage,
Yes.
raking its saber teeth across the bars.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I'm going to make a point to kind of belittle the suitcase that this little scientist man has. Is this really what the best you could bring? This is nothing. This is just a little bag. Really, is that all?
Yeah. Sir, this bag contains a wonder of the age.
Yes, well, your wonder of age doesn't really seem to be all that big and impressive.
But
I mean, it's
all you
nothing
can
like
see is the bag. You can't see what's within.
Well, yes, and you think the first impressions matter most of all, and you're going to want to just show up with a bag that may have nothing in it at all. Like this is by no means anything impressive. Now, on the other hand,
fine, come here.
Yes.
Look, he throws open the bag, and inside is a gigantic, garishly coloured spider.
That's going into the plan.
Spider.
He thrusts the bag at your face. The spider rears up on its back legs and waves its mouth parts at you. You see?
I step back and totally don't let out any sort of high pitched battle cries.
Screams.
Such a thing. He closes the bag. Such a thing should not be possible. The air doesn't have enough oxygen in it to sustain such a creature, and yet here it is, alive and well. And you say that's nothing? You show your ignorance, sir.
Is spider poisonous?
Actually, I think he just showed his cowardice.
The scientist looks over his glasses at the creature that dared to speak, and says, "No, it's venomous."
You would dare bring something like that in here? As I'm trying to, as Jonathan's trying to get his composure back. Think about the fear that thing could instill.
You, sir, brought a stinking savage in here. Some other fellow brought a tiger. And not only a savage, sir, you brought that primitive, outmoded hunk of junk over there, rusting away, spilling oil on everything.
Can I grab the spider?
It's back in the bag. You could grab the bag.
All right. That's what I was going to do, yeah.
Flock is going to look over at Drizzle and... excuse me, this rusting hunk of junk needs to go and take care of something right quick. I will return shortly.
I think I know what.
Yes.
You know exactly what I'm going to do.
You're going to take the creature for a walk.
Well, okay, I can do that. I'll take Bilge for a walk by the tiger cage.
Okay. The tiger catches a whiff of bilge and recoils to the far corner of the cage, covering its snout with its paws.
Excellent. Just kind of surreptitiously, break the lock open on the door.
Well, maybe we should wait on this a bit.
Nope. Stubborn. Can do it.
Okay. Gain a fate point.
What's that idea? I have to do it.
Make a strength plus might roll.
That one should be easy. 8 whole dice on that one.
Oh.
Okay. Ready?
Set. Go.
1, 2, 3, 4.
4 successes.
4 successes.
Okay. You reach out with your enormous metal fist and crush the padlock into nothingness, and much of the chain as well.
And now it's obvious that this thing doesn't like bilge, and it's going to stay on that side of the cage. So I'll tell him, all right, as soon as we move, that thing's probably going to come out. So we need to move directly to where we need to be.
I thought I was supposed to start painting.
Plans change.
Fuck it.
He didn't. He called me rusting hunk of junk.
And he called me, well, I mean, not entirely inaccurate things, but yeah, fuck him.
Okay. So you're going to release the tiger.
Release the tiger!
And then you two are going to head back inside. And then when the chaos and panic of an unleashed saber-toothed tiger takes hold, you're going to run up the stairs and try to find the vault.
Yes. But probably not before Bilge unleashes the spider on somebody.
No, I had another idea. I was going to go with the Tarzan kind of thing with this. I'll tame the tiger. I'll stop the tiger at least.
Well, you'll repel the tiger.
Yeah. And then all the people will be in awe of the savage, exotic creature man.
All right.
That could be the
I'm off to go find the vault then.
I'm going to head back to the easel where I'm going to pretend I didn't know or notice any of this.
And I'll go head straight to the vault.
That's it.
So while they were doing this, I was off getting some punch and trying to mingle a little bit and try to talk with some of the ladies or some of the serving ladies.
Talking with the servants? Good Lord, man. What's wrong with you?
Well, you have to make sure you can you truly get the best of the food, the best vintage available. And who better to know than the ones who are bringing it out?
Than the serving staff. Yeah. Okay.
Is there like a sommelier? Otherwise, yeah.
Probably.
I'm probably going to throw off his palate, though.
Yes, you've ruined me. I'm destined for penury. My nose is destroyed.
Penury.
Charcuterie.
Okay, so I just want to make sure I got the chain of events right. So you cross the lock off the cage. Meanwhile, inside, Drizzle is talking to the servants, getting the best wine and so on, recommendations that he can. Then you come in, ruin the sommelier forever, sending him to the gutter to beg for change with a sign saying, "I have no sense of smell."
That I will pay for him.
And then once the tiger-based shenanigans erupt, charge up the stairs, infiltrate the upper floors, find the vault, break in, find out whatever's the most valuable thing in there, trouser it, escape to the airship. So
Yes.
that's the expected chain of events. Okay.
If we can also get the crew.
Hold that tiger, 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 hold
This is epic.
Okay, enough. We might get copyright claims.
Seriously, for this?
Yeah, I know it's super old, but even so.
It's YouTube, so.
Yeah, best be safe. Okay, yeah. Right.
So I assume,
go on.
no, I assume the tiger's not going to immediately come pouncing out, but it'll happen at some indeterminate time.
Yeah, not immediately, but once you've made your way back inside, and you're discussing wines and so on. Suddenly there's a loud roar from outside, screaming, sounds of people running, small caliber gunshots, horrible wet tearing sounds.
I will rush out then. Once, don't really need to at this point.
No.
Yeah.
Your job is to infiltrate the upper floors, but
right.
Yep.
I think the simpler solution is to feign shock and knock over one of the tables that happens to have a lit candle on it, thus setting it on fire.
Yes, you know how this mansion would look better on fire.
Okay. Spend a fate point for the spirits to be present, because normally they would be served after dinner. So, but yeah, okay. A brandy bottle shatters. A lit candle ignites the brandy, and blue-white flame goes across the floor. There's a smash, and one of the guards comes hurtling backwards through the doors with a pair of large gashes down his front. And the saber-tooth bursts into the feasting hall with a couple of sabers stuck in its back and various bullet wounds.
This would be a really bad time for the spider to get loose, wouldn't it?
It would.
So let's make that happen.
Okay. Well, the scientist is distracted by the saber-tooth, so you rip the bag out of his hands and release the spider, which definitely gives Drizzle motivation to get away from the spider up the stairs. But the crowd is not going to get any more distracted than they are right now by the fire tiger spider combat.
We are going to call this the plan now, the fire tiger spider plan.
That's being planned all along.
Yes.
Yeah, post hoc is the best hoc.
Yes.
I disagree, says the sommelier, but then my nose is ruined, so what do I know?
All right.
Pass to me from now on. Right. So presumably now you vault up the stairs, heading for the upper floors.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. At the top, one of the mechanical servants, the tripods, is waiting. I'm sorry, sir. Even in the event of Tiger, the upper floors are not open to guests.
They need you downstairs. Grab him and throw him off the rail.
Okay, he attempts to fight back. Can you make a fisticuffs roll to wrestle him?
Yes.
Can I assist?
You can make an attack roll as well, and you can combine the results.
So many sixes.
Using my does using my claws give any bonus, or is that just for damage?
That's just for damage.
I'm gonna spend a fate point, give myself 1 success there.
Okay.
Got 4 successes in fisticuffs.
Okay, and Bilge got
Just 1.
just the one. Okay, so both of you grab the automaton and drag it to the edge of the railing. Below there is chaos, because this is the upper crust. Several of the people down there were noblemen who were wearing dressed swords, so they're trying to fight the saber-tooth. But as you watch, it bites some posh lady almost in half and throws her bloodied torso into the punch bowl. So you have this thing teetering on the edge, but it seems to be about as strong as the pair of you, fighting back, grabbing hold of you with its 2 of its 3 arms. So teetering back and forth. Make a fight roll again. Drizzle can help if he wants this time.
Yep. Appreciated.
Spend another fate point.
Flock has had enough of this shit and throws 7 successes.
Nice.
2 more.
2.
So what's the total successes between you?
11.
Yeah.
Okay. Redoubling your efforts, Flock and Bilge together lift this heavy automaton up as it strains against you, steam leaking out of its joints. It totters back and forth on the edge, and then Drizzle gives it a hard kick, and it slips free of your grip and plummets down. Must be what, 3 stories, about 30 foot, and lands heavily on a fat gentleman, bursting him like an overripe tomato.
Whoops.
Sorry about that.
You can just over the tiger roars and the flames and the people screaming as they run away from the spider. You can just about hear the automata saying, "Oh, sorry, sir."
Such a nice automata.
All right, you're now in the upper floors. These are even more ascetic than the lower floors, which are obviously used for guests. In fact, most of the rooms are pretty much empty. It seems his lordship lives a fairly Spartan existence. Now, finding your way to the vault through an unfamiliar, towering mansion, what would we roll for that?
Navigation.
That seems like the best idea.
All right.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, that's 5 for me.
I have no navigation, but I can add in what, perception?
You can, if you don't have the skill, you can just roll the stat. Yeah,
I have 0 in perception.
but this isn't something where
I'm
working together will help. It's
Okay.
someone.
Okay. All right.
2.
Okay. So it takes you a while, but the sounds of screaming, chaos, gunshots, and so on below does fade away. And eventually making your way from one similar-looking set of empty rooms to the other, up more and more floors, as the stairs get a bit more unevenly distributed. You do eventually emerge into a double-wide hall that ends at a pair of large, impressive-looking doors. And there is a brass plaque next to the door, which does say the Glass Vault.
Nice.
It'd be such a shame to shatter it, but these are the way these go.
Well, maybe next time he'll get something more secure.
Kick in the door.
Flock, if you'd be so kind.
Of course. Go bash the door in.
You stroll up to the doors. They have a wooden facade, but there are bars of metal hidden within the wood, so it's tougher than it looks.
Yes.
Right. So that's going to be a might roll.
Not a problem. Let's see. It's 3 successes.
That's the magic number. Okay. So yeah, you channel as much pneumatic power as you can into your motors without bursting them asunder, and slam into the door and strain. For a moment, nothing happens much. Some of the paint cracks off the surround. And then all of a sudden, part of it gives so suddenly that you're almost thrown off your feet. But one of the doors is pushed completely in, and you go stumbling inside, spinning around.
Entrez-vous?
Allons-y. Right. This is definitely the Glass Vault. There are enormous glass ceilings above you. At each corner of this floor, there's enormous tops of the spires that rise up above the glass and surround it. There are more tall barred windows around the outside. The floor is peculiarly warm, and around the outside there are many radiators. Inside, there are big planters full of exotic plants from all manner of far-flung places. There are even palm trees growing up towards the windows, and even fruit trees from far-off climes that shouldn't be able to survive here in England.
I don't think we can steal a bunch of plants.
We can ruin them, though. I'm going to start smashing radiators.
Okay, filthy black steaming water starts to spill out everywhere. There are also displays with even more exotic things displayed on them. There's an enormous geode the size of one of those 1960s golf ball chairs.
Oh, shit. Let's start throwing those things in the bags.
That's too big to fit in the bag.
Okay,
well, but there are plenty of other things. Yeah, jewelry, weird-looking technological devices.
Jewelry.
Yeah, blag it all.
So Flock and Drizzle are taking anything small enough to steal that isn't nailed down, and Bill just smashing all the radiators.
Yep.
Bill just laying waste.
And then, and that's a good measurement for a good measure. I want to put down that Airship Rise for Monarchist pamphlet on in place of one of these.
I was thinking that too.
Beautiful.
That's great.
Yes.
Terrorists.
Suspect us.
Okay. One second.
It's too good. It's a pity we didn't park the airship right over this, but would have been great to get out.
Nearby. All right. So as you start ransacking, you're interrupted by a bone-chilling, croaking squawk, and some of the artificially planted undergrowth shivers slightly, and you see brightly coloured feathers sticking out over the top and then dropping back down again.
Is it a giant parrot?
Too good to be true.
From out of the undergrowth stalks an enormous bird as tall as a man, with a great colourful crests and enormous, dangerous-looking claws. It stares at you like it's just caught you fucking its wife.
I'm gonna huck a radiator at it.
Why would you keep this in here?
That might be the
I'm
problem.
gonna hand Flock that coconut.
What do you want me to do with this? I don't eat it.
Well, it's got a nice hard shell. I think you can figure out what to do.
Oh, you mean you want me to do something like this and throw it at it?
Can you roll initiative, please?
Yes.
You do have an initiative score.
Okay.
That's how many
Now, is
die
that-
you roll?
Sorry, what?
Initiative is how many die you roll.
Yeah.
Wow. And you just count successes again?
Yeah, just count successes.
That would be 3.
3.
Bilge,
4.
3. Bilge 4, Drizzle 3. Okay. Okay, they're going last, which is weird because they're normally quite fast, these birds, but you all rolled quite well. All right, so Bilge is up first. I believe you wanted to throw a radiator at them.
Yep.
I don't think there's a thrown weapon skill, or is there?
Improvised.
Oh, well. Maybe I should just use these claws that have been foreshadowed for so long.
Throwing is a skill. It's dex-based, but you probably don't have it.
No, I don't.
So you could either... I'd let you use improvised weapons if you've got that. Otherwise, you might want to forgo the radiator and just claw them to death.
Yeah, that's what I'll go with. Don't have particularly good skill in that either. If anyone's got a sword.
Okay.
Nope.
So
I
you
got
have
fists.
you have higher initiative, so you get 2 bonus dice to your attack.
All right.
It's fisticuffs to use your claws.
3 successes.
3 successes. Okay. It is trying to fight back. It got 1 success. So you got 3, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that drops it to 2. That means you do 2 damage and roll the potential damage of your claws. So your claws are 4, I think. And you
Yeah,
add
4
your
damage.
strength to that. So you got 6 dice of damage. So roll 6 dice and add 2 to the result.
3. Only got 1 success.
Okay. Okay, so you go hurtling towards this creature, throw yourself into the undergrowth that it was just emerging from. It whirls on you and tries to kick at you with its wickedly clawed feet, but you manage to slash and cut at it and pluck a bunch of the feathers out of its front and rip the flesh beneath. It squawks in pain, and you hear an answering squawk from elsewhere.
Oh, no.
Drizzle.
All right, so I will probably actually make use of my bullwhip, since I got this thing, and I might as well use it.
Yep.
So
Okay. See, you get 2 extra dice for initiative, and I said I'd give you an extra dice for using the whip when you first used it. So that's an extra dice as well.
should I be using dexterity?
Yes.
I mean, I do have bull as a skill. I don't
That's for bullshitting.
Bullshitting. I want to use it more for kind of bringing them to heal and getting the others to stop their charge.
Okay.
Three successes.
3 successes. Okay. Roll 1 dice for damage.
5.
Okay, so none. But you got enough successes to do 1 damage to it. Okay, so you lash the creature with the whip. The whip snakes out and cracks loudly, the sound echoing off the floor and walls. It recoils from the whip as if it knows the sound and eyes you with its beady little eyes somewhat fearfully.
You know, Mr. Drizzle, I'm thinking we need to introduce the chickens to the tiger.
It's not a bad idea. Just send them down and add to the chaos.
Yes, well, if we run from this room, I bet they'll follow.
We need to get this stuff up to the airship, don't we?
Yeah.
We do.
Is there another exit out of this room, or is it just the one?
There are small openings in the windows for regulating the heat if necessary, but there's only one way out otherwise without breaking the armored glass.
Have we taken most of the treasure?
Most of the portable treasure, yeah.
Would like to take the giant geode, but
roll it.
I was just roll it down the stairs.
Yes, exactly.
Chickens chased by a giant boulder.
But what are you doing right now about the killer chickens?
Fighting them as much as I can.
Yeah, but what's Flock doing? Pausing, stroking his metal mustache and making suggestions.
Well, there was that, but okay. So Flock will grab the giant geode and what the hell? We'll attempt to go bowling.
Okay. Make an improvised weapons roll.
I don't even know if I have that as a skill. Oh no, improvised is 3, so it's all dex based.
You get 2 extra dice because you've got initiative.
Okay. Three successes.
Okay.
We should have been better.
Let me just look in the weapons section for giant geode.
That's not really a weapon.
No. But there must be something like Great Club or something that I could use.
Cannonball.
Yeah. That's the weapons. No, we don't want airships. Skills, combat, blah, 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 blah. What? Okay. Page 141. Weapons. Axe, brass knuckles, knife, swords, no. Cannon, small cannon.
That
I
would
did say
run.
cannonball.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a bit bigger, but
yeah, but I'm thinking in terms of force. Okay, let's call it a small cannon. So, how many successes did you get?
3.
Okay, it's -1 for its defense. So that's 2 damage, and roll 10 dice for additional damage, plus your strength.
Oh my god. Okay, so hang on a minute.
Like 14 dice, I think. He's got to take his shoe off so he can count over 10.
Nine successes.
9 successes. So plus the 2 from the to hit roll. So that's 11.
God.
we don't need you to kill them all. We just need you to scare them away.
I think it would be scared after this.
Okay. Right, so Bilge is locked in mortal combat with this thing. So slashing and kicking and fighting. There's a brief break as you come apart from each other. It goes at you. You go at it and bare your claws. And then a giant Geo just rolls past, takes it out.
Give Flock a thumbs up.
There's a poof, cloud of feathers. Now the now red stained Geo keeps rolling with a very flat, surprised looking bird under it. And then the geode smacks into the wall with some force, sort of mounts the edge, shatters the window, and plummets out the other side.
There we go.
There's our exit.
Right. The other terror bird, horrified at what you've done to its mate, leaps out of the undergrowth, slashing at Flock.
Oh no.
Right. You get to make a fisticuffs roll against it, and whoever gets the highest number of successes wins the exchange.
Nice.
You still have initiative, so you still have +2.
Okay. Sorry, we got company over and the dog is going nuts.
Dog is dog.
What'd you get?
I got 4.
Okay, it got 3, so you beat it by 1. Can you roll your strength and damage and add 1 success?
Okay, that's like 10 dice.
Just your strength. So which is like +4, I think.
Yeah, but the fists are 5 damage.
Let me see your sheet. Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah.
Got 7, 8, 9 in total. After
Okay.
+2.
Okay. I've lost track of the stats. There it is.
You don't want to get punched by Flock.
Okay, so it comes leaping out, and you just kind of offhandedly backhand it back into the bushes. You don't think it's dead, but it made an almighty smashing sound.
Shit down.
Okay, unless you want to press the fight with the terror bird, it's going to leave you alone now. So
Okay. Yeah, I mean, as long as it's going to leave us alone. I mean, now we have an egress, and all we need.
Yeah, you hear the drone and chug of the airship's engines as it sort of drops down into view just outside.
Well, I do believe we have our exit.
I think that's good. Shall
Let's
we
get
start
outta here.
moving?
Yeah. The crew throws over a few ropes. Can you make athletics rolls, please?
Oh dear.
We still got some fate points, right?
I got
Yeah,
fate
we do.
points, and I'm gonna spend 2.
Flock got 1 success. Do we need more?
Well, one's enough, barely.
Yep.
3 successes.
Okay. So, replete with loot, you jump out the hole that the geode left, grab hold of the ropes, and start to climb. Behind you, a man in a suit carrying a mammoth gun comes rushing up to the edge of the broken window and looks up at you.
Okay.
Thieves! Blackguards!
Flock is going to take whatever piece of treasure that is closest at hand and throw it at the guy just to put him out of commission before he gets a shot off.
All right, make a throwing roll.
Okay.
Thrown weapons.
Throwing weapons.
Plus your dexterity.
Okay. Not my best, but we'll try. Oh, no, wait a minute. Oh.
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 Grim, I shit
Yeah?
you not. You keep rolling 6s every time you roll a 6, right?
Yes.
That was 7 successes on 3 dice. I'm serious.
Okay.
No, it happened to me.
Same.
And take your strength, add 1 to it, roll that as damage, and add
Oh
7.
God.
Watch, it's gonna be like a fancy like candle holder. Just gonna like stab the guy.
Okay.
Candles lit.
I got 3 and then add 7 successes, so that's like
Yes,
10. 10 successes. Ow. I don't know what I hit him with, but it hit terminal velocity pretty quick.
Okay. Amongst his many exotic artifacts was a can of 20th century Campbell's soup, which you retrieve from your blag bag. Toss once in your giant metal mitt and then hurl at him. He's loading the second round into his mammoth gun and then raises it up to fire at you when he's smacked full in the face with a tin of soup and knocked back into the building. Which you can now see is quite well on fire down below.
See, what they don't all understand is this was all part of Grug's art. This was his performance art. It's very, very meta.
He's the misunderstood artist.
Outsider, misunderstood artist.
Okay. Right. Well, it wouldn't be proper Airship Pirates without an air battle, which will be our finale. So your airship turns and starts to speed away. Most of these sort of Imperial Navy airships are far too slow to catch up with you, and with all the chaos going on, nobody really knows what's happening. But 2 smaller pursuit airships appear behind you, searchlights reaching out towards you as they strive to reach you. They are faster than you, but it will take them a while to catch up. Your spotter calls out that they've fired. Seems they have forward-facing cannons. A couple of big air bursts rend the air close to your ship, but they are closing in.
So,
Let's see, airship combat.
where would our cannons be? Are they side-loaded or are they...
Checking the stats on the geek. You have a large cannon on a turret, a grapple launcher on each side, and 4 small cannon to port and 4 small cannon to starboard.
I'm trying
Give
to
me a
look up
second.
Steam technology, but I keep getting stuff about Steam, the game service.
Steampunk tech?
Well, what I'm trying to figure out is does our ship emit any kind of like smoke that I could throw something in to make black or colored, or just I could throw
Yes.
the paint in there?
Yes, it does. This is confusing. Okay. Yours is a Tigerfish class airship. Sorry, but we do play warts and all for this, so
It's all good. Was
yeah.
planning if I did get a chance to paint, to just paint Saturn devouring his son, but it would be Bilge devouring Drizzle.
I can't believe you. This is like, after all I've done for you.
Rebellious. I'm
But-
disaffected and rebellious. And you're whipping me.
Yes.
Lucky it only went this far. I tried to talk Flock out of the tiger. And thankfully I didn't, because it worked.
Yes.
Okay. So
I'm sorry, it's not a party until you bring a tiger and let it loosen.
See, I thought you were going to go for like the that sort of first act sort of midpoint with the tigers and RRR. Like, let's loose like a dozen tigers into the party.
Well, that would have been even better, but I mean, you know, I figured it was only one fate point, so.
I figured it out. You're going to want to use a line dice roller in this thing. Right.
I like my little dice I got. It's like a bunch of like D6s with skulls for the 6.
Oh, nice. My deceased friend had dice that literally had skulls for pips. And I mean, they were carved into it.
I've seen those.
Yeah.
Maybe not those exact ones, but I've seen similar.
They were nice.
Okay. Roll initiative. Whoever is piloting rolls
That'd
initiative.
probably be me. So.
Okay.
Ooh, 2 6s, 3 6s, 4 6s. Jesus. 5 6s. Okay, 5 6s. So 5 successes. Wow. Flock is like, not today, shitbirds.
All right. So you and your crew can act first. You're currently at long range from them.
Okay. Flock wants to pull a really cool maneuver to do like an Immelman and and like basically turn around on them and like get to where I can, as we fly over the top of them, aim the port side guns down on them, so we're strafing the top of them.
Are you trying to drift the airship?
Yes.
Can I go down to the engine room and take? What could I throw into there to make a smoke screen?
Liquor.
Green wood. Anything that doesn't actually burn that well, but will burn. Clothing.
Yeah, take the suitcases and throw them into there that we took.
That would do it.
Okay. Yeah, several helios worth of Egyptian cotton and silk goes up and creates a huge cloud of white smoke. Okay, and Immelman, can you make a piloting roll, please, for Flock?
Uno momento. Let me see. Piloting 2 deck. Not a lot of dice here, so may have to burn a fate point. Let's see.
You've got more than you're better than I am.
I do have quite a few fate points left. So let's see. 2 successes. 2 successes. Not great, but
okay. Right. So you grab the speaking tube and holler down to engineering, where Bilge and the men working hear your voice echoing. Full power, full steam ahead, and they scurry around, pull levers, throw fuel into the engines. Bilge throws in a bunch of clothing. Great big plume of thick white smoke appears behind you. The engines go full tilt. You very slowly, because you're in an airship, tilt upwards, go all the way over. So everyone falls to the ceiling of the interior of the ship, along with all the cannonballs and the fuel. And you quickly roll back over, and you're now facing towards them and bearing down on them. What's Drizzle doing in the meantime?
Drizzle's getting ready to get onto one of the cannons to fire.
Okay, so your forward-facing cannon can reach them. Do you have gunnery or whatever it's called in this?
I do. Let's see, 3
Okay.
plus 5 total.
Okay, go for it.
Let's see, one success.
One success. Okay, and your forward cannon does 15 dice of damage.
I was going to say the broadsides are worse, aren't they?
Yeah, they do like 40 dice, but they can only fire broadsides.
Right. Well, that was on my next turn. I plan on swinging so that we can do broadside to their front.
Okay, good thing I have a dice tray for all this.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's why I pulled up the dice roller, because I'm like, like I don't have all my bricks of Shadowrun dice.
You've got 2 extra dice for initiative, which I forgot. So, yeah, roll those as well.
Yes, I think Flock is going to get promoted to captain after this, or at least helmsman. I have to say, system-wise, it's nothing special, but the game is fun.
Yeah. 4. Is that all?
That's all.
Plus the 1 that you got to hit, so that's 5. Were you aiming for the ship on the left or the airship on the right?
The one on the left.
Okay. All right. So your shell explodes nearby it and scatters it with fragments of hot shrapnel. But their crew don't seem to be too worried and make rude gestures in your general direction.
Oh, you bastards.
All right. They fire their forward cannons. You can make a piloting roll to try and dodge.
Oh, yeah. Only got one success, but I'm going to burn another fate point.
Okay.
I'm going to minimize some of the damage.
So it gives you 2 successes.
Yep.
Okay. So they hit you nonetheless. Okay, so that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 14, 15. 17. 18, 19 damage to you.
Is there a rear gun I can get on?
No. Okay, so you took 19 damage, but for reference, you started with 102 health. And the second one fires. You can keep the same defense roll, which was 3, wasn't it? Or 2?
Yeah.
3. Okay. Okay, that shot misses. So using the impetus from the Immerman, you're able to move fast enough to make it harder to hit you, but one of them manages to land a proper shell blow. You're fortunate that they've only got, they're quite big guns, but they don't have many of them. So it strikes a glancing blow to the front, splinters part of your hull. A couple of the crew are taken down to the surgeon with bits of wood stuck in various parts of their anatomy. Roll initiative again using the pilots.
Okay.
Get any successes and you're going faster than them.
1.
Okay.
2.
So you have initiative.
3. So yes, we have initiative.
Right. You are, unless you do anything special with your piloting, you're pretty much face to face now because they're approaching you quickly and you were approaching them quickly.
Well, hopefully Drizzle will spin the turret when I yell that we're turning to starboard, and gonna try and give them a volley from the broadside directly to the front of their ship and the large turret.
You could keep the speed up and pass between them and give them both a broadside.
That sounds even better.
I like it.
And it looks like they only have forward guns, so they won't be able to fire back.
Exactly.
Okay, make a maneuver roll.
All right.
So
Piloting?
piloting. Yeah. Plus the handling rate for the vessel, which is 8 dice.
Okay.
So that should be quite a lot of dice.
Got 6 successes.
And they only got 5. So they desperately try to slow down in order to stop you. So their sails come out full furl like fish flaps. And they try to stop, throwing their engines into reverse. You hear grinding and shouting orders, but you're too swift. Pass between them. Right. So you are firing the turret as Drizzle, and then the crew are firing the cannons.
Bilge could probably roll for one of those.
Sure. I've got firearms, not gunnery, though.
You could take a pot shot at one of the crew
All right.
if you've got a gun. If you've got a gun,
I don't. Do we have someone around?
the crew. One of the crew can hand you a gun from the arsenal. Yeah. Okay. So
I wish I would have taken that elephant gun. It was a little late, though. Just pop holes in the
balloons.
Yeah.
I had a bunch of like knockout darts that like would have been kind of nice with the heist, but turns out we need them.
Knockout dice.
No, you decided on a different approach.
Throwing everything into array does create a distraction.
I somehow wish that like that nerdy guy with the spider gets blamed for everything.
Me too.
What did you get to hit with the cannon?
Two successes.
Okay, so you roll your 15 dice with the +2.
Do we add anything for initiative?
Yeah, +2.
Oh, that's a lot of sixes.
Oh, yay!
Huzzah!
We may put them into full retreat after this.
Let's see. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 sixes.
Ooh.
So that'd be 10 total.
10. Okay. Plus the one you got. So that's 11 damage. Okay. I need to finish calculating your crew's broadsides. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10. Okay. So that's. And the other broadside. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 22. Okay. It's all terribly exciting watching us count. I'm sure. It's 24. Okay, so were you firing on the already damaged vessel, or?
Yes.
Okay.
I think that thing went boom.
So that one. And then takes that further damage. And number one takes. Okay, so.
That's the thing with D6 systems.
Yeah.
A lot of lulls in the action.
Look at all those skulls.
I think I hit it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you did.
They shot the arrow in twine.
No, you didn't shoot the arrow in twine. You blew the whole tree apart.
Fired a cannon in an archery contest.
Yes.
I shot my cannonball right into one of their cannons.
Nice.
The minimum crew numbers seems to be about 80% of full. So, okay. Right. You sail between them. The 4 cannons on either side bark and smash into their decking. You swing your turret around and fire as well, adding to the fire on the already damaged vessel. They're smoking and heavily damaged, but what's actually done for them is they no longer have enough crew to be able to keep going. So you're able to fly free while they tend to their wounded, try to get some sort of order back. So you go flying off into the sunset with your pockets full of treasure to take it back to that dodgy geezer and tell him what you saw.
Well done.
So a pretty good success all around. I have lost my tab with you guys in it. There we go. All right, so that brings our game for the evening to a close. That was Airship Pirates, Abney Park's Airship Pirates. Systems a bit kooky, just as it was in Victoriana. And the presentation in this book is not great, but who can't have fun with Airship Pirates? Really?
Yeah, I would say like the system itself is nothing special. We've seen this kind of system done several times before, but the world is pretty unique, and of course how we did it and what you can do with the fate points is what really makes it fun. It looks like.
Yeah,
I've just been thinking like Barbarians of Lemuria a lot faster, and they have airships.
Yeah,
and that was
true.
One of my favorites. But the adventure was fun, definitely.
Yeah.
I will say, as a knight, it's easy to grasp.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and that's something
it's
that
got
definitely.
that going for it. Yeah, I think it just needs something to speed up the combat. I think there was an optional rule in one of the later versions of Victoriana, which meant you could like sacrifice a certain amount of dice for a definite success or something like that. Right. So next week we're playing T-shirts game, Darwin's World.
Yep.
Right. So on my stack here of the next few games to play, I have Hero Quest role-playing in Glorantha.
Oh.
Or Earth Dawn, the edition that Mongoose put out. As regulars, sorry, Caster, but as regulars, Mike and T-shirt. Do you have any preference?
Hero Quest.
Hero Quest.
Yeah,
Okay.
I haven't got to play that, and I've been very curious.
Groovy. Well, I will get something set up for that for next time we play. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Yeah, if you want to play, hit me up. Probably not in the comments because this is a separate channel, so I hardly ever get to see the comments. But hit me up on Discord, email, social media. You know where to find me. And I'll see if we can fit you in. Right. Cool. Thanks, guys. I'm going to get some sleep.
Night, everyone.
See ya. Night all.